We are starting. We are live. It is Sunday, December the 2nd, 2018. It is the Connects with Guitars Roundtable, the last one of 2018. We will have some other people jumping in, but so far we have the ambassador of YouTube, the man himself, got himself a new axe that we'll be talking about as well. Terry, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad in yourself.
Oh, can't complain. Middle of my usual weekend for me, so I'm doing swell. Put up a couple videos, yesterday or today? One yesterday, one today, and then also we got from the West Coast, aka the Best Coast, survived all the crazy fires out there in the last month. JJ, how you doing, brother?
Welcome, everybody. Good to see ya. Yeah, I'm rocking, man. Everything is good.
Excellent, excellent. Let's see. I'm just going to bring up the chat here. Give ourselves a roll call. If you want to get shouted out. Man, if I could talk tonight. Say hello to us.
If you would like to get shouty doody.
Metal Stage O. Hey, Sinner. And I figured out that thing, Sinner, about the other account, why I couldn't see you. I think I got that figured out. We got Adam EVH. Bringing in the wrench. We got some guy named JJ in the chat. We got some guy named Ben in the chat. I don't even know who they are. JP Page 2, Jeff Ripplinger. Good to see you guys. Scrolling down, Brian Cote, Absolute Mayhem, Michael B, Gussie Wells, Eddie Van Haskell. Good to see you, fellas. Will, good to see you. First time catching us live. Awesome, awesome. Mitch Heyman, Pooh Ninja. Can I get a whisper out? Pooh Ninja. Pooh Ninja.
Rock on, Pooh Ninja. Rock on, Adam EVH, Mayhem, Mitch Heyman. Down the line, Will Varela. Terry, I know you. Gussie, Eddie Van Haskell, Michael B. Cinero, Jeff Ripplinger, JM Page 2. Adam EVH, of course. Rock on, everyone. Welcome.
Tone Boner, hey. Jumping in.
He had a tone boner of his own.
Yeah, so I figure we got a bunch of stuff we can cover tonight. Plus, anybody that's watching, if you have any questions for the panel, feel free to ask. We're always open to suggestions and questions. Just for the simple reason that we don't have to think as much, about thinking of stuff to talk about. We can ramble about any topic for hours. God knows. Go back on the channel, right, JJ? We've had some marathons on these sessions.
We have, yeah. All topics welcome.
Irish train guy.
Nothing's off topic for a small fee.
Hey, it's 2018. Freedom of speech.
So I'm going to get to one question I actually received before we went live. Gussie Wells had asked, he had been watching some of the videos and asked if I had changed up the audio on them. And I did realize the audio is down a bit. Originally, I just used iPhone for recording that stuff. Now I've incorporated the Snowball because I realized it will work. The phone puts out enough power that, hang on here, let me set that down. If you use the Lightning to USB adapter, you can run the Snowball off the phone. I just need to move it a little closer going forward. It's a work in progress, but it seemed to pull in a little bit more dynamic sound. So, yeah, I'm working on that setup, Gussie. That's what I'm doing right now. Just simply the USB to Lightning USB condenser mic. Hey, Thrash Metal. Yes, we can see you. I saw that. I was watching Johnny's replay, and he had mentioned that I couldn't see him in the chat. Brian Cote has a question. Excited for NAMM?
What up, brother?
JJ, how excited are we for getting and hanging out at NAMM for 4 days?
How excited am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, NAMM, it's on top of the head right now. I'm thinking about NAMM. And the big YouTube, all we're going to be talking about is NAMM in the next coming up weeks for sure. But I'm stoked. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the party in the hotel.
Yes.
I really am. That's priority.
My priority tomorrow is to book my bloody flight. I keep forgetting to do it. I got to do it tomorrow. Good news is, yes, booking tomorrow. Bad news is it's highly doubtful Richie's going to make it to NAMM.
Oh, he's not going to make it?
No, it doesn't look like it. But we've also, as a result, if Richie's not going, it looks like the GoFundMe for NAMM has pretty much hit what we needed to hit for that. And the only GoFundMe we're kind of looking at this point is for the hotel party.
All right.
So check it out down below if you want to help out, folks. It is down below. But yeah, I can't even explain how excited I am. Like, crazy.
As I was jokingly saying, Richie is stuck in Canada Post.
Joe's chucking in $1. He'll be there.
Sinner says, let's talk Tonewood paint colors and pickups. Let's not. Watch the Thursday show. Richie had quite the rant about it. Poo Ninja asked, what's the SG double neck weigh? I believe a little over 18 pounds. It's not light. And I am just scrolling down. Old Man Dan, David Ennis, good to see you guys. Brad Adidas Windbreaker, thank you. Yes, I think I'm supporting Manchester City tonight. So I got a bunch of these Adidas handed down to me a few years ago, and they keep the chill off nicely. Eddie Van Haskell says plaid paint will make your guitar sound like bagpipes. Awesome. I agree.
And make you able to play It's a Long Way from the Top if you want to rock and roll by AC/DC.
That's right.
So if paint makes the guitar sound different, and no paint is what? Ultimate?
Yep.
That's the ultimate tone.
Hey, Jimmy T. Wonder if Jimmy T will have any Kiss trivia for once Hack gets here later to see if he can stump the two of us again.
Rock on, Jimmy T.
In 1978, what song did Kiss top the charts with? Ding, 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 ding.
78? Did they ever top the charts? That's a good question. Did Kiss actually ever have a #1 hit?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, neither do I.
I just made that up just for the comedy bit.
We'll ask you, Terry, how was the Anvil concert? If you want to give us a brief synopsis. We did cover it last week, but Will's new to the channel, so.
Again, it was actually 3 groups. First group, local. Oddly enough, the one guitarist in the first group was actually a guy I met on Kijiji and did a 3 guitar deal with, 3 for 3. Second group wasn't too bad. It had potential, but their sound was everything all together. Oddly enough, the guy I actually got rid of my Telly Bridge to and Telly Neck, he actually knows someone in that band. So it's interesting. And we only stayed for 4 of Anvil's songs. None of them were metal on metal. It was all seemed to be newer material. Again, the band members themselves, solid. The guy who's the vocalist, but their playing was excellent for the 4 songs that we stayed for.
I was supposed to go see them on Friday night, but I had a long day at work Friday, and I was just like, do I feel like going to an Anvil show? Like, my legs are killing me because it was a busy day. I was like,
well, my friend, he was just like, he remembered the group Anvil,
right?
And he was saying, oh, it starts at 9. Well, hey, it'll only be a few hours. You know, we'd get there, and I said to him on the way there, I said, you do realize it's 9 till 1 in the morning?
Yeah.
He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, crap. So we managed to stay there until like 12. Yeah. 10 after 12 or whatever. He was just like, after the fourth song, he's like going, he goes, yeah, enough. And I'm like, yeah, I've had enough. My ears, my tinnitus was just like ringing like crazy from how loud it was between all the bands. Oh, and beside the second group's guitarist, studying from the school of Kurt Hammett Wah.
Oh, yeah.
He rode the wah like a cowboy rides a horse. It was everything. Wah, wah, wah. Rock the wah into this position. Wah, wah, wah. It was like, ugh.
So it looks like Gussie's waiting for his wife to leave so he gets to crank up his Friedman once she's gone. Yeah, that'd be nice. And what are you plugging into that Friedman tonight? That's what I'm curious too.
What is the Friedman, Ben? Which one?
I don't know, but have you ever heard of a bad Friedman? You know,
there are many Friedmans, and they're all very exciting. So I'm excited to hear which it is.
Yeah,
maybe a small,
especially Morgan Freeman.
my first band was called Metal on Metal.
Oh yeah,
nice. Nice. Oh, he's got a mini Shirley. Nice.
Beautiful. Yeah. Matching cab.
It's funny. I hear Shirley, and all I can think of is the drink, a dirty Shirley.
Oh, Tone Boner says I plug a Cali into my BE 100. Ooh, that's some nice tone. Looks like I guess he's got a classic thin line. Wasn't a Tele guy until recently. So you're blaming me, Gussie. I get it. Yeah.
Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
When are you going to let Han Solo go? That's fucking right. Give him a break, dude. It's almost Christmas.
Hey, we got broken chains in the house.
Yeah, man.
I think eventually I'll find some other thing to put up as a backdrop.
Okay. Gussie's got a non-matching cab, a 212 with vintage 30s. Nice.
There you go.
That sounds
pretty much a Friedman cab, though. Vintage 30s. No, I don't know what they were running with that one. Maybe a 25. Broken chains. He's got the Randy Rhodes.
I was just reading Sinner's comment. Apparently Han Solo was a troll, right, Terry? That's what you do. I made him an example.
Yeah.
Here we go. How many here are local? I'm in Tweed. So for those who don't know, Tweed's about 45 minutes away from me, give or take. So that's within the area.
I'm in Weed.
Tweed?
Was that Tweed?
Yeah, Tweed. As in the finish on this amp. Gussie, not local. Hey, Mark Dillon. RJ's using a Legacy 212 cab with vintage 30s. Works great. Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say, isn't that a town in England or something?
Where do you think we get all of our names?
It's we got some in Tweed.
There's a River Tweed.
Yeah.
Some in upon Tweed.
Yeah, that's good. It's on the river. Yeah, Berwick upon Tweed.
That's it. Berwick upon Tweed.
Okay. We got Will's tuning in from Oyster Bay, New York. Very cool. Very cool.
Can't say I've ever heard of Oyster Bay, New York. Sounds vaguely familiar, but
I want to say around Staten Island.
Yeah, that probably would sound right.
See how well my New York City trivia is, because if I'm way off, I'm sure Will can correct me.
Oh, hello. It's all right.
And Absolute Mayhem, I messaged you on Facebook a question. So, just saying. So, Terry, we got 35 people watching. I wonder if they're wondering, this new piece of gear you got, is it handy that you could possibly show it off?
Not that I haven't showed it off enough in the last 24 hours.
This is true. Yes. Yes. Plenty of videos on his channel. Okay. Broken Chain says Long Island Ben, Meet the Fockers was filmed there, Oyster Bay. Oh, okay.
All right.
Let me present you here. Mark Dillon says he's got a Jet City 212 vertical slant with vintage 30s. Very cool. Oh, yeah.
Like a vertical.
It's all smudged from me touching it, but
That's what she said.
but as you can see here, there's a great big scratch here, and I've already taken it out. So it looks pretty purty now.
Very cool. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Like some people will say a double cut Les Paul, but Hamer.
Well,
you know, like
yeah,
I much a Hamer vibe.
Yeah, Hamer headstock.
Yeah.
Well, you can imagine all these guitars between like the late 70s, early 80s up to the early 90s all kind of have that kind of similar kind of vibe. Another guitar that has a similar kind of vibe that is kind of well known in shape is the Epiphone Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
It as well has kind of a very similar shape. One of the things I actually now thinking about it when showing off the headstock shape here is it's a lot like how the Heritage headstocks are.
Sure.
A lot in profile like it. Of course, a Heritage is about, if you bought this in a Heritage, it'd be like probably like $2,000. But yeah, this is a 1982 Vantage VE-550.
Original pickups, you think?
I would have to assume the guy I got it from said everything is original. I wouldn't be surprised if it all is. Tunematic bridge. Like, I mean, it doesn't look like anything has been done to it. Even the tuners on it are the original Vantage tuners.
Okay.
Which is like very, very, by now, given the age of it being an 82, it's surprising that somebody hasn't replaced them. And I'd have to say with how loose they are, the posts, and the stiffness of them, I would think that there probably should be replaced soon. It still kills me, though, that this is actually supposed to be called the Entertainer series, but if you look and this shows up right, it's Entertain R.
Oh, so it's the Pirate Edition.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what you'd think, is that it was like actually like a pirated edition kind of thing, but that's actually how they distinguished the top tier models with the block inlays between these ones, which were the lower tiers, was by putting AR on them. And I mean, the only real difference between the models, from what I can tell, is basically the block inlay. At least these Entertainers in this 550 range, they're all bolt-on neck. I believe there's a 560 or 570 that actually has a set neck. So yeah, this is all stock, 2-volume, 2-tone, 3-way toggle, mini coil tap,
Sweet.
humbuckers. I would have to say, after playing it now a couple times, I don't think the humbuckers are Alnico. I think they're a ceramic-based one.
I'm pretty sure they would be.
Like I said, they remind me of a DiMarzio.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, this bridge pickup, when you throw gain on it, oh my God, like anyone that's listened to the videos, you know, you can clearly hear how it just is like insane sounding when you throw like high gain to it.
Absolute Mayhem asks, do we get to hear it? Yes, there's about an hour of hearing it on Terry's channel, Mayhem.
Yeah, if you go to my channel, let me just post up in the chat here.
Doing that. We got Todd Flowers and our good friend Landon in the house, and Dan Sullivan. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, what up, Dan? What up, Lando? What up, Todd?
Very cool. We got 40 people watching.
Where was that made, Terry?
41, if you include me.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
Well, if you include me, then it's...
I'm not watching.
You got to be watching, or else you can't reply to chat. So you don't... let me see, actually. Since you are presenting me, let's see if I can do this. Okay, here we go. So here is the one thing I found about it. I like the big thing up at the top here. Website under construction.
Classic.
But these were made out of the Matsumoto factory, which produced West Tone.
Guitar, man.
Yeah, this is the higher end of it. This is the actual.
That's a wicked finish, man.
So,
didn't Yamaha have a studio series that looked
yeah, it looks like the Yamaha
studio series?
Is that what it was?
Studio
1000 or something?
Yeah, Yamaha did have that SG that also looked very similar.
And I think they used the same plant, Terry, for a lot of their stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me. I just know for sure out of the history for around these guitars, it was like Area 2, West Tone. Those are the two that I got off the top of my head that I can remember. So anyways, the specs on this, even though this shows different, you'll see down at the bottom here. Japanese ash arched solid top, solid construction. 3-piece maple neck, chrome-plated die-cast machine heads, rosewood fingerboard, Gibson scale length of 24 3/4 inches, 22 frets, the OH450 humbucking pickups, 2 volume, 2 tone, coil tap, pickup selector switch, chrome stop bar and tune-o-matic, nut non-slip black plastic speed knobs. I don't know why they have that listed as nut.
That doesn't quite seem right, eh?
But yeah, as you could see when I was showing it off, I've kind of been, but you know what? On this guitar, I actually kind of like the speed knobs. It is kind of handy. Hardware chrome plated. This, as they show here in this picture, came in a gloss cherry wine and a tobacco brown, and this was in 1982.
Very
and
cool.
As we scroll down here, you can see the deluxe, the regular entertainer. And oddly enough, when I found this page, I was like, well, and then I'm like, well, there you go. There's the one that I got. Was right there grouped.
It's nice to see the binding and the inlays. You know, they've taken a bit, they've added a little bit of quality there. Not on the black one on the previous guitar. It's got nice binding and those nice trapezoid inlays on the fretboard. Like it.
Yeah, see, here's one here. Entertainer VE550. And actually, I just noticed they actually had a quilt.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's really sharp. And is this one? Yeah, this one's actually a set neck. Set neck with, look at a tummy cut.
Nice.
It's a wicked guitar, man.
So I would, yeah, and the serial numbers in the headstock, I think that is actually a newer model, but it's in that same range. I think these guitars only went on to be produced until like 86, 87, I think.
Makes sense.
So let's see here. Oh, actually, here we go from the Wikipedia. Matsumoku Industrial was a Japanese manufacturing company once existed in Matsumoto City, Japan between 1951 and 87. Established in 1951 as a woodworking manufacturer of various items, but is best known as manufacturer of high-quality guitars and basses, including some Epiphone and area guitars. Let's see now.
Yeah, Soda Pop called it earlier.
I'm guessing
that
that's
like the Area Pro 2, which it did.
What's that, JJ?
Soda Pop said it reminded him of the Area Pro 2, and
Yeah.
they were made in this probably that same factory.
Exactly.
They were sick guitars as well. That was all quality. You can pick them up for a good price.
There you go. It says Yamaha right there. Area. Yeah. Norland.
Matsumoto produced guitars or parts of guitars for Vox, Gaiatone, Fujigen Gaki, Kanda Shokai Greco,
Guitars.
Greco are awesome.
Hoshino Gaki Ibanez, Nippon Gaki Yamaha, Area, and Norland, parent company of Gibson. American-owned Unicord contracted Matsumoku to build most of its Univox and Westbury guitars. St. Louis Music Company imported Matsumoto-built Electra guitars.
I got one of those Univoxes.
J.C. Penney sold Matsumoto-built Skylar guitars through its catalog. Matsumoto built many early Greco guitars as well as Memphis, Vantage, Westbury, Westminster, Cutler, Lyle, and Fell. Washburn Guitars contracted Matsumoto to build some of its electric guitars and basses from 1979 through 1984. So, pretty extensive.
There's Tokai make guitars.
Tokai.
That's some cool stuff, man. Everyone's kind of
Fujigen's back there, mate. The old Ibanez. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think basically pretty much all of us here and everyone in the chat probably has touched a guitar that's gone through that plant at one time or another, right?
Yep.
Mayhem says everyone's IQ just went up one. Yep. Terry's just dropping some knowledge.
Start for us.
Yeah, we still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Epiphone Gibson decided to move Epiphone production to Japan in early 1970s. It chose Area as its contractor. As a subcontracted Area, Matsumoto manufactured most electric Epiphones made in Japan from 1970 through 86. A few solid body electrics were made by other Japanese manufacturers, and at least one model was made in Taiwan. Models include solid body ET series Crestwood, the SC series Scroll, and the model 1140 Flying V, as well as Epiphone's archtop electric guitars, 510 2T/EA 250, Sheridan, Rivera, Casino, and Emperor.
There we go.
And now that I've bored everyone enough,
Now we're going to talk about something else that can be boring at times, but some people think is
It
pretty
wasn't boring. It was Japanese guitars. That's top tier.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to mention that some people noticed a month ago that somebody was missing from the show, JJ. You were busy that evening doing some recording.
Oh, the last hangout?
Yes, because we hung out off air later that night. But so, we've got folks in the chat that have done recording. Some haven't, some have done just strictly home recording. So what kind of a setup were you doing for recording there for the stuff that you're ramping up?
You're looking at it behind me. Yeah, we do all our recording here, and then I'll mix it as far as I can get it, and then possibly send it out. But don't know. This is our recording batch, trying to the band just trying to get something creating going. But did it here, man. We just we tried with clicks, and clicks is what it's really all about. Some of the biggest records you've heard were done to clicks, especially through certain periods. But to get that live vibe, man, just to get it flowing, it's chuck the clicks out and just go for it. And drummer's tight, so we just record everything live. And then I'll overdub the guitars. Joe's tight as hell on bass, and he comes up with killer stuff. But always overdub the guitars, run a couple of tracks.
We kind of creating as we go. We don't know what we're going to play before we start playing, and we manage to capture it all multi-track. But you end up with a sketchy, or you make some magic as you're recording, and you're like, but it's stuck. It's 3 fantastic minutes stuck in 6 minutes of like finding your way around a little bit. But we document it all, and then
we record everything that we play.
Beautiful.
So,
nice.
And sometimes it like even the arrangement, you catch it. Even the arrangement, it just flows, and you kind of catch it. And for some, we can do it all here. So V drums, of course, they're there. We've got the V drums behind, but
we could put a drum machine on now and blow your mind with something completely original. He's a nutcase on the guitar. He's a left-hander playing right-handed, all right brain. Just he makes that. I like playing the guitar, but he's just weird. He makes noises that you don't expect, and they're freaking groovy, man.
But the singer, that's the inspiration. Our singer's incredible, and yeah. So that was what the recording was all about. And obviously we record everything live, and then we'll just redo the vocals, redo the guitars. So Josh came in to redo the vocals, and that was the day of the hangout. I thought he'd just come in and bang it out, because Josh is normally like, getting him is hard enough. So once you're here, he's got to hop out or whatever. But man, he was here for the whole day, and he just wanted to keep doing it. And I'm like, the hell, just keep running it.
Yeah.
And he did like 6 or 7 takes of each song, just working. And any of you guys have seen the Humbucker Lover song, and God bless Will Ellison. I wrote a song for him the day he passed, and I finally got some vocals on top of that. So I can't wait for everyone to hear that. And that's a really special song. And man, he busted that one out. So we just busted a bunch of vocals. So now I've been mixing them. So I overspent some money on some wave plugins on Black Friday. That was awesome.
Nice.
Any of you guys know about plugins?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost cheating, but you can get some of them plugins, and it just, the minute you put it in the system, in the track, it just ping, there it is. And obviously you can escape down the horrible road, but if you can just leave it simple with the right plugins, you get some killer tones, man.
Very cool.
Yeah. So just been working hard on that.
A shout out. We got Blackjack in the house. Welcome. Jamal, good to see you. And who else did I see in here that snuck in? Paul Lou. That's who.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I did see a question on, are Dylan guitars Canadian? And what do we think of them? I have a little bit of experience with them. They're kind of Canadian, but I think some of the work is done overseas, and then final work is done in Canada, like assembly in Canada. And they're essentially like knockoffs of your traditional guitars. They don't play too bad. A great bang for the buck. They seem to be gaining in popularity, I've noticed, south of the border over the last couple of years. You had any experience with them, Terry?
As far as I know, there actually is kind of a controversy in regards to Dillian. There was both distribution of Canadian and American, but as of late, the Dillion USA is the official producer of the guitars and distributor. The Canadian version has now been kind of deemed unlicensed, so to speak. So anyone that actually is looking for an official Dillion branded guitar have to buy them from the USA now. I don't think there's very many available in Canada. Whoever here in the side chat said that they know distributor. Oh, okay. No, former Canadian distributor. He lives in Niagara Falls. Guess he was saying, yeah. So, and the screwed up thing now is because of this controversy, the actual, if you actually bought a Dillion guitar, Canadian or American in origin, and it's more so worse if it's Canadian. If you ever have a warranty issue with it, you cannot send it to Dillion USA.
Right.
They will not warranty it. It's pretty much an as is.
Well, there we are. You ever come across one, JJ?
No, I was just talking to Joe. The only brands I already know, it's Court. That was Canadian, wasn't it? Court?
No, Court is actually Chinese.
What about Mitchell? Oh, I know the brand. What's your Fender? What's your Strat?
Hurricane by Morris, right?
Hurricane by Morris.
The Morris.
Hurricane by Morris.
I'm trying to think if it was the Morris guitars. They made like Bender knockoffs, Telly knockoffs, and Strat.
I remember Morris.
The Hurricane was their Telly, I think. I had one.
That's an awesome guitar. It's like 80s.
Nice.
Soda Pop asks if this is live or a premiere. It's a premiere.
It's actually from the future.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's a sneak peek of what's coming up in 2019.
Hey, Jeff asked me what speakers I got in the Riveras. The one on my left has a Vintage 30 in the top and a Governor in the bottom, which is basically a warmer Vintage 30 without the spike. And the other one's got two EVM 12Ls, my favorite speakers.
Nice.
It's funny.
Those things are
in
insane.
English.
What's
It's
that?
the Governor.
Yeah, the Governor. It is the Governor. Governor. Yeah, that thing's insane because the Vintage 30s, they can be spiky, man. They've got a certain thing, and once your ear catches it, it's like tinnitus. It won't go away. It's great in a band mix, but if you're just jamming out, it's a real.
Too fizzy.
It's like the earworm in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The V30 spike, but once they're broken in, then that's the speaker, man. I got the 4 original V30s from the 80s from Paul Gilbert's cab.
Oh wow.
I had Paul Gilbert's cab and I had them in, so I still got them 2 in there. You got one of them actually in your what is that amp? That thing's sick.
Carvin. It's a Carvin,
The
right?
Carvin.
It's a clone of a
it's a clone of a Boogie. The Carvin 100.
112X.
Yeah, 112X or something. Yeah, he put one in there. But yeah, they were killer V30s. And then I got some others in a Bogner cab, and they had that. I think they were the Chinese V30s.
Okay.
I'm back on a speaker obsession again. I had this Bogner cab I had the most incredible clean tones. These are full crushing like Mazer cabs, you know what I mean? And I missed that other cab I had. It was just so warm for clean tones. So I've found an Avatar empty cab, but he's also got 2 original G12M 25s, which he's selling separate. So I'm trying to get hold of him on Craigslist on email, but he ain't hit me back yet. So yeah, but that's the same as the Bogner cab. It's their clone of it. I'll talk all day about speaker cabs. I've gone down. He knows, don't you, Joe? So I mean, So many cabs have gone through this freaking room. It's crazy. So, you know, obsessions with them. Orange cabs, boogie cabs, Bogner cabs, Marshall cabs.
So do you have one specific one then?
What's that? Well, I ended up with these two Riveras, which are just super rare, and they're Thiel cabs. So the tops have you can make them open back on the top.
Seen a few heads as well.
Wow, yeah, there's been a few heads through here. But no, they're killer cabs. Yeah, but I got one. It's incredible. It came out of a church. There was a church that was selling all their stuff, and it had been in the cellar since the 70s, and it had two original G12 M25s from the late 60s.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
For anyone who's obsessed about it, had the T1221 cones in them, which was all the Zeppelin stuff was recorded in. All those early, that was the speaker. So they're in another little cab down on the side here. One of them's a little blown, but the other one's perfect, and it is. And I'll sometimes mate it with one of them, and it gives this extra little warmth, which is just mind-blowing. Yeah. Nice. You're all welcome to come jam out, man.
What our beverages of choice are tonight. So I'm drinking Labatt's Blue. What are you drinking, JJ?
I'm getting dangerous on Bailey's, man.
How about you?
This is good. Good old H2O.
Awesome. Good old
I've never heard of that.
It's actually a tall glass of vodka, folks.
What up, Cinero? Middle stage. Shout out.
Yes, he's back after a hiatus, and I want to say hello to my sister.
Back big time.
My sister is baking cookies while in the chat as well. Nice.
Gotta say, I was gutted when Metal Stage finished. I love that show, man.
It's coming back, I hear.
Yeah, rock on.
Gussie asks, question here, preferred method of breaking in speakers?
Hammer.
Cranking them up and playing for as long as you can.
Yeah.
I've done them where I faced them down and covered them up and put like heavy EDM music through it, and you adjust the volumes. Go online, man. There's loads of different ways to do it.
And it looks like Soda Pop's got to leave. So see you, brother. Good to see you, buddy.
Rock on, Soda Pop.
Appreciate all your support. I really don't know much about breaking in speakers because I've never bought new speakers. You know, other than, oh wait, no, that's not true. I did buy a new pair of PA speakers, and yeah, I just played music at volume for about 4 hours just to make sure nothing was wrong before I used them for the first gig, you know.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever heard of is putting a towel or a bunch of cloth down, then putting the speaker cab down, and then again, like JJ was saying, just cranking it up for X amount of time.
Yeah, but you want to adjust the volume. It's like breaking in a motor. You want to keep adjusting it so it pushes it in different ways. Yeah. But it works, and I think you do it for like 24 hours. I can't remember. Yeah, until your wife tells you to shut the F up.
Or your neighbors start yelling.
Well, you can still hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I also want to you speakers, man.
Thrash Metal asked if any of us had heard of Jackson branded cabinets, and I'm not aware of them myself. I've only known Jackson guitars. And Martin's good to see you.
Actually, Jackson does sound familiar, but I mean, it was such an obscure company. And if I remember correctly, they did appear in Guitar World at one point in time. And I think they were an American company.
They had metal grills.
Yeah.
And monster cabs. There was one for sale a couple of years ago here. I remember it. It had like a luminous lime green metal front on it. But they were obviously made by someone else. A lot of these companies, some local cabinet guy is banging them out. You know what I mean? For whoever. And they put their name on it. But they've been around. B30s.
Hey, Jeff Harper. Good to see you. Yeah, we got 37 people watching. Awesome.
Anyone in the chat? Tell us about your cabs. You know, who's running what? I'd love to know.
I just run combo amps these days myself, so I do have my 412 cab here, which is just Frontman Series Fender half stack.
I just have my hand solo.
I was in Guitar Center the other day, and guy was playing through the EVH LBX2, the little one.
Oh yeah,
on half power through a Marshall through the EVH 4x12. I can't remember what guitar he had, but man, tone from hell. It was incredible tone out of that little thing on half power through that 4x12. Almost ultimate rig. It was incredible tone, and he got the clean tone through those centric pots, and it sounded killer, man. Killer. I don't know what speakers are in the EVH cabs.
So Thrash Metal says mine seems like that'd be his Jackson cab. It looks like a crate cab, but loaded with Jackson branded red 12s. Was a pawn shop find for $200 20 years ago. Sure.
Killer.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it was a long time ago. Jackson.
Yeah, Lando's running a custom 112 loaded with a Texas Heat. That's a killer speaker. I think, is that Eminence Texas Heat?
Can I get my
Yes.
from the car?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Eminence. Yeah, that's a killer speaker. Here's my kid. Did you have to go that way, dude? Gravel phone. Train's coming.
Yeah, that was earlier with me. About to go live, and there was a huge freight train going by. I'm just like, well, we might as well just wait at this point. And then there was another train within 5 minutes of starting.
You haven't cleared up on your picture, Ben. Hey, anyone in the chat, is Ben blurry or is it just at my end?
He has moments where he's clear and then moments when he's blurry.
Story of my life.
Oh, there you go. You're coming in and out.
Lando's
running the Marshall DSL 20. That's a killer head.
That's what happens when you drink too much Newfie Screech.
Or not enough.
Todd Flowers, Swamp Thing.
Hey,
that is
Steve Anderson is in the house. Steve, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
E1280s. Yeah, toe boner. I haven't heard them, but I've read up on them. It's a Marshall bass cab with G1280s. Awesome.
The Rummeister says you better be drinking rum and eggnog. Well, he's got Bailey's, which is another holiday favorite, at least around the
Anderson.
Hey, JC.
Sounds like Black Jack's Eggnator experience.
Yeah, I saw that. Jeff Ripklinger's got a 1960 AX cab with G12Ms in it. The British ones, not Chinese. Good to see.
Well, yeah, it moved, didn't it? I noticed that.
Never did check to see what kind of speaker I have in my Fender amp when I did the review on it, or the demo today. Yesterday? Today? I can't remember which one I did today and which one I did yesterday.
That was, yeah, what is in that one? Because they upgraded the speaker, didn't they, to a Celestion? That's a Fender speaker made by Celestion.
You know what? I'll take a look.
Yeah, Steve Anderson. Bailey's, mate. Rum would be nice, but eggnog. Can't do the eggnog, unfortunately. Still not quite sure what it is.
It's egg and nog.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't sound right. It should
Part
be
egg and part nog.
It would be very similar to kind of like how Advocat is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see.
If you want really screwed up, that's a liqueur that actually has egg yolks in it.
Oh, I should have just asked Jimmy T. He knows. Eminent speaker.
There you go.
Yeah, he watched the video and he knew more specs on my amp than I did.
Oh, that's the reissue. That's the reissue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, same as mine. Yeah, so it's got the Eminence one. Yeah.
606 power amp, power tubes.
Yeah, Marsman's running EVs in a 212 cab. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, they came in the old PAs. That's where you find it.
Mayhem asks, what Marshall amp do I have? One that I guess I'm doing a demo vid on because he asked for that in the series. That is about a 1985 Marshall Lead 100 MOF set. So it is the solid state version of JCM.
There you go.
Nice.
The repair from the other day. This is a G12 T75 Celestian, which I got as two separate speakers used, and they went in and out, and then this one took a dive at some point when I was removing it, and it got a big old slice. I went online the other day and fixed it with the glue, the little glue gun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to, yeah. That's cool. A lot of people do it that way. Some people do it with kitchen towel and wood glue. But I ain't got patience for that. So they say this is killer. Yeah. Do you remember when I broke it?
No.
You were there?
No,
yeah, you were there.
I'm aghast.
Damn, I kept pulling speakers in and out.
Yes, I do.
So that's going in and I mix it with a V30 in one of them cabs.
Nice.
They got killer low end, those ones.
That one.
So you like mixing up speakers in your cabs?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea too.
As long as you can,
you have multiple cabs with
right? Cross pattern in 412s, and in 212s, it's like matching the wattage. Otherwise, one will overpower one, and it's just kind of gone.
Yeah.
So you go online and look at combos with outside of Celestians and those standard speakers, which everyone knows. So many brands out there, man. Warehouse, so many, and mix them up. They'll tell you all different patterns, and it's killer.
Yeah.
Fun times, lost in space, man.
See, Will says I sold all my Marshall amps, including my Plexi. Don't need them anymore, but help put my touch controller. Magic.
Let's go through there.
So, any new gear on your radar, JJ?
Yeah, I got a $50 gift card for my birthday, and I put it down on a expression pedal. One of the Mission expression pedals made for the Helix.
Right.
So it's actually designed with a Helix. Says line 6 on it, so all the parameters are the same. 1 second. Can you hear that? Is it like a freaking tank coming or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee.
Sounds like I'm playing World of Tanks.
Oh man. No, so that with the Helix, because it's already got a pedal on it.
Right.
But the one thing it doesn't have is the minute you touch the pedal, whatever you're activating, be it a wah or a whammy or whatever, it will instantly work.
Right.
Or switch off and come out of the patch. Right. So the expression pedal will do that, because this thing will do so many crazy things. And I'm like really into effects and messing with effects and letting delays just wash out crazy. And you can, I might have said it before, for people who haven't, don't know, like you can have your pedal up, let's say pick a delay pedal, hit a mode button, and it will open all the parameters of that delay pedal. Be it, the feedback, the mix, every different parameter for each different pedal. And that your expression pedal can activate individual ones. So you can be playing along with a delay, hit the expression pedal and open up the feedback to 100% or just change anything.
Sure.
So I got that. So looking forward to getting that, but it wasn't available till the 16th. So the kids can chip in and get it for Christmas.
Hey, Swap Tree.
Looking for, like I said, looking for that 212 cab if that guy ever gets back to me.
Sure.
And then eyes on a matchless as well. There was a matchless cab, hell of a deal, with a G12H30 and matchless speaker made by Celestian, which is apparently the same as a G12M25. and he wanted $300, and that's like new. That's an $1,100 cab,
Right.
open back. So he didn't get back to me either. Yeah. That's about me for new stuff. And then,
yeah, I
was looking at.
We already know.
Dude, this guitar the other day, I took a picture because I thought it was killer. Check this out.
Back.
Here we go. This thing's nuts.
Bio break soda.
I couldn't
Bio break. Ooh, that's nice.
Let me present you here.
Da-da-da.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's really sharp.
Dude, ain't that something?
Is that an Elite?
Yeah, that's the Elite.
Yeah, I knew it.
Dude, it just jumped out. It's in that little room. It's the room where all the amps are, and you just crank it to whatever. And they have all the nice guitars.
That's gorgeous.
Man, that thing, as soon as I walked in the room, it was like beeline. Picked it up. Felt killer. Felt like my that Daphne Blue one. Really fat neck on it, which is killer. I love it on a telly. But $2,500 for that sucker. But it was killer.
Wow.
It was awesome.
So they're going up in price because they're not much more than $2,500 here.
Well, I'm like, is that custom shop or is that just?
No, they're just top of the line. The next step up is custom shop.
Yeah.
Like Jared Dines just got a guitar, didn't he? That custom shop one. Did anyone see that? You guys know Jared Dines?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was a Strat or a Teddy, but it looked like that one. I was wondering if it was that. Yeah, killer. But that thing played awesome. Quality was nice. First day I went in, it was in that room, just like anyone could handle it. Like a 10-year-old can walk in and just wail it into a 4x12. You know what I mean? But the next day I went in and it was gone. I'm like, damn. So I wanted to take a picture. And I asked the guy there and he's like, oh, it's up top. We had to hide it. Because it is that, I mean, one nick on that and that thing is flawed forever. Oh, and that top is pristine. I think it had been in the shop like one day.
No, that just means it's a relic and it goes up another $1,000.
Yeah, right. I tell you, man, those guitars just get beat. They just get beat in Guitar Center.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, hell, I know. Like the video I did yesterday on that Mexican telly of mine, which every time I pick it up, I forget how sweet it plays because, like, I spent months setting, just tweaking it. Like the action, like down to, where you're just barely turning the width of the Allen wrench. Just, that minute. Just messing with it for months. Got it so nice playing. And I remember the first time I picked up that guitar, I fell in love with it, but I thought, no, I couldn't afford it at the time type thing. And I played that guitar for probably 6 months before I owned it.
Yeah.
Nobody was buying it. They had it off in the corner. And every time I go in the music store, I always picked it up, played it for 5 minutes, going, maybe one day. Hey, Matthew Stewart.
I'll tell you real quick before we went on, I was telling Ben, like, Johann Sagerborn. I know someone in the chat knows Johann Sagerborn.
Oh, I was going to mention that, the cardboard speaker.
No. Well, no, not that. But he, he's this Swedish guy, He's the one who sent me down the whole speaker kind of like hole and just like into mayhem. But anyone who knows him will understand exactly what I was saying about that. But his favorite guitar now, and he has access and owns 50s Gibsons, Tellys, Strats, and you'll see him play them on his channel, all these different guitars, through all these incredible Marshalls, through all the eras and all the speakers. And his favorite guitar is the Squire Affinity, which comes in the little cardboard box packet with an amp. Yep. And he says, he goes, I just want you guys, just go try it out. And he'll play the tones coming out, obviously a little tweaking, obviously coming out the box. But that's his favorite guitar. Anyone check out his channel and check out the tones.
I love the necks on those things. They do that satin finish, like barely any finish on it, which for a guy
like $150 or something with an amp. I mean, like ridiculously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think retail here they're $250 ish range, 275 new. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It
makes me want to get one for cheap. The other one like that, which blows my mind, is the Gibson. Is it the Junior, the little cheap $200 one or $99 one?
The SL one.
That little, yeah.
With
and I
the
think
dual single coils.
No,
it kind of looks like a Dan Electro.
Humbuckers. Do they do a P90 version? It's the
the Juniors.
The little Les Paul Juniors.
Yeah.
No, there could be like 4 or 5 of them in Guitar Center.
Right.
And they're all, some of them are like whatever, but you'll pick one up and it'd be like, man, for like $99, are you kidding me? The neck feels amazing. And I've plugged them into killer amps in that room and they sound incredible.
Sure.
And they're just dirt cheap. But I mean, how long do they last? I mean, after 5 years, who knows?
Oh, yeah. Well, I picked up my little Les Paul Jr., that student guitar. I picked it up for $60 at a pawn shop. And it still had the plastic over the pick guard and stuff. And I had a buddy over here a few weeks ago, and I pulled it out, and I hadn't picked it up in ages. Did a slight tuning to it, and I couldn't put it down. I was like, man, I love playing this thing. And $60 cheap little, it was probably a plywood guitar, but I was getting tones out of it,
Oh, yeah. We were just saying again before we went on about Tom Morello and that one guitar he bought out of a pawn shop for $40 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was on the second album. It tracked on pretty much every song in that second album. It was $40. And crazy, man. It's all about the tones. I mean, it's what you're hearing. Make them tones, man. Love guitar, play guitar.
Yep.
Make music every day.
Don't overthink of it. Just don't overthink it. Just plug in, have fun, relax.
Record everything you do.
And record everything you do.
Get a looper pedal. Looper pedals are the best thing in the world.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Once you're jamming it out, and it's like, man, that's pretty good. Just hit that looper pedal and just keep it there and stand back and go, well, that's actually pretty good. And then record it, even if it's on an iPhone.
Yep.
So many things go to waste, man.
Oh, that's so true. I love going through my phone and I'll hear all these little 30-second clips that I've done. And I was like, what is this?
Howdy.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
Who is this?
Hack, what up, brother?
Hey, JJ, how are you, man?
Good, man. Very
Barry?
well.
How's it going? You guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
What'd you say? Can't hear you.
What? Hey, hello?
Yeah, we should have screwed with him. Seriously. Ben, you blew it.
Yeah. So how was rehearsal, buddy?
It's all right. Just
Well, you'll be able to watch it later.
No, I'm not posting that one.
Oh, why not? Come on, man.
No, I didn't post that one. No, we're just working on some new stuff. So, it's always a bumpy ride when you bring in new stuff. It was all right.
And I'm driving to work. I get to listen to your jams, man.
I posted a set from Friday night, but that set'll put you to sleep. That's our lame set. Yeah. So what I miss?
Oh, Terry showed off a new guitar. We're discussing a little bit of home recording with JJ. We're discussing Japanese guitars in general. What else?
Speakers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Speakers,
we're just waiting for you.
Cabinets.
I went on a rant about speakers.
Oh, yeah. Speakers and cabinets.
Very important part of the chain.
Oh, yeah.
It's the end of the chain, and that makes all the decisions at the end of the chain there.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome.
Talking about cheap guitars that actually sound good.
Flowers. Totally. Epiphone Special LP in TV yellow that has the P90s.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
The killer. And they cost nothing, man. It's crazy.
And I know a good upgrade if you want to upgrade the pickups. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Shameless self-promotion.
I'll get a set, Ben. You can bring them down when you bring my strap down, buddy.
Damn straight. I'm
serious. Yeah.
I'm getting a few sets made up. So, yeah.
I'll
do
buy
that.
them, but I want a set for sure.
You got
We
it.
can do an install. We'll get drunk one night and we'll do a live install of the pickups.
Perfect.
See how that works out.
Shameless self-promotion.
It's okay. I have my own channel, Terry. So any got your eye on any new gear hack? Are you still all hot and horny for the Meteora?
You know what? I got to put it on my mind because
Joe go to town.
I have to sacrifice at least 2 guitars for it, and there isn't any guitars I can give up. There's just
Right.
you know. And then I was inquiring about the 2019 Les Paul Classic. It's got Zebra 61s on it. So that one I want to try out, but nobody has them yet, right?
Right.
So probably won't be till next year, right? So, but then I'd have to sacrifice a Les Paul for a Les Paul. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about maybe another head too. If I could find like a DSL 20-watt head for like a used for cheap, which I probably won't for another year because it just came out this year, but I would do that. Because it's a nice little head, and those, like the DSL 15 is not very good, but the DSL 20, the new one that came out, those are actually really good. Those are good heads. Because I've got this 50-watt Marshall Monster over here that I think I got as loud as about 3 the other night, which is a record. So like if I could just do a 20-watt head, probably be a little better.
Sure. Looks like Todd Flowers wants a set of those set of my pickups. Sure.
I like something about them.
They're being produced as we speak.
No, I've missed.
I was going to say Guitar Hack looks awfully young now.
Yeah, there's another one I saw the other day.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. Let's present. Oh.
I'll try to hold it that way.
Pale yellow. That's interesting.
It's actually fluorescent. It's not coming through. It's completely neon.
Oh.
The Sabre 540.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you were mentioning that.
You don't see them pop up, man. That's, I think, 80s. Super rare color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Satriani's Ibanez was based off them because his were very narrow as well, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Satriani's were based off of the
So he might have, when he jumped to Ibanez, he might have enjoyed this one and said, let's base it off something like this.
Right.
But man, that whenever I see anything that's neon, I'm like, man, that's a shred monster.
Yeah. JJ's attracted to bright colors.
Dude.
So am I.
Bring back the 80s. Let's do it.
Yeah.
2000. It'd be nice to go back to the 80s. We'd do it all again. Let's rock it.
Oh, hell yeah.
What would we buy? What would we
Bringing back the 80s?
What would we buy if we could go back the 80s?
I'd go back. I'd
brand new in the store.
I'd go back and get my Ibanez Roadstar from 1983 or 4. I missed that guitar. I should never have sold it.
If I went back to the 80s, I would be buying as many 70s Fenders as I could. You guys need to go and buy their Kramers and Ibanez. And
yeah.
You get them, I'll get the Les Pauls.
Yeah, and you get the Les Pauls.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
I'll get the
I'm surprised Hack didn't want the Les Pauls, so I'm getting the Les Pauls. He can have his Ibanez Roadster. You can have the Fenders. What are you getting, Terry?
I'd be telling myself not to get rid of my 85 main Japan 68 reissue Fender Stratocaster.
Yeah.
Which would be a $3,600 guitar right now if I had it.
So my sister, who was at a Christmas party last night, says because of this community, I actually picked up a couple of guitars and kind of knew what I was talking about. Thank you all so much.
Oh,
yes,
nice, Amanda.
A live band at the Christmas party she was at last night. I saw the photos. That's very cool.
That's good, man.
Thrash Metal says, I tell my dad, don't sell the damn ES335 he traded for a tent.
Oh my god.
A hell of a tent. 2 stories.
Better be a Gibson tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you go back to, if you went back to the 80s, you wouldn't want to necessarily be even buying the new stuff. Because, you would make a profit, but probably not as much as if you, say, bought a bunch of Kramers and stuff like that in Ibanez in the 90s, right? Well, when Nirvana was ruling the world, you were probably picking up that stuff for pennies on the dollar.
Well, before I ran to the guitar store, I think I'd run and buy some Star Wars figures first. And then I'd go. Then I'd go to the guitar. I was talking to my kid about that the other day. Then I'd go to the guitar stores. Have a nice box of them Star Wars figures.
Oh, Blackjack says saw 3 toothpaste Charvels the other day. Nice. You really don't see a lot of used Charvels, compared to, say, Ibanez and stuff like that, or even Jackson's. Like, people hang on to those Charvels from back in the day, I think.
You're going to trip when you come here, Ben, and I take you to the guitar centers. Because it's what's available in the used stuff, and because it's this area where all those things kind of were amassed.
Right.
You're going to, bring some dosh, man.
All those guitars came out of California, spread around North America just to be repatriated by these young, skinny guitar players seeking fame and fortune.
Yeah, God bless that Charvel factory and the family, man. Can you believe that? That was crazy.
That's the truth. Suave Trainer says, why is everyone so wound up over Charvels? Always been a fan of the Super Strat style, being a child of the 80s. And
they got mojo. Just to have that name, they got mojo. You want to talk about mojo and guitars? If it's got Charvel on it, whether it's Japanese or wherever it's made, it's awesome. I love Charvels.
And Soda Pop says he's jealous of your jam room, JJ. Well, you're looking at my bedroom during NAMM.
Yeah. Gonna rock it, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of sleepless nights for good reasons.
Dude, NAMM.
Plane ride home.
NAMM's coming, Joe. It's going to be nuts.
It'll be here soon.
It's the craziest. Hopefully we get good weather. Don't bring that Canadian weather with you, man. We're quite happy here in California with the sunshine. So whenever guests show up from England or whatever, it's like, dude, it starts raining the second they get off the plane.
I've been to a rainy NAMM. I remember a rainy.
It's always raining because everyone comes and they bring the rain. They bring the bad weather with them. And the colds and all the flus and the namthrax.
Namthrax, what the hell?
Oh yeah.
We've got to keep drinking to avoid the namthrax. Only the sober people don't get the namthrax.
That's
we
right.
barrel through it, don't we? It's gonna be good time.
That's why we have to record everything, because otherwise we won't remember half of what we did.
Who's in charge of documenting it all then?
Ben.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's my job.
Brian Cote is just asking if I'm going to NAMM, and unfortunately, no. I can't go to NAMM. That would really mess up my my work. So, plus I don't have any means to go. So,
it's going to be exciting to see who they announce as the bands. That's always really, really good, because it's always quite a name act, and it act on that front stage. Funkadelic, remember when they played it?
I do.
George Clinton.
Nice.
George Clinton. Yeah. Incredible acts.
There you go. New band name, Namthrax, with their album "Attack of the Killer Flus."
Yeah.
About right. That would get you a gig at that show, man.
Yeah.
That would for sure get you a gig.
Actually, did you secure a pass, JJ? I know you were talking with Ike there a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we've emailed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Ike, I was watching something, or I was talking to him in a chat, and he's like, I don't know if I have a place to stay when I go to NAMM. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you can stay here. I'll let him know then.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
That'll be a party.
Yeah, because Richie you don't think Richie's coming?
No, it doesn't look like it.
I can just crash here then, man. Yeah. No
Yeah,
one needs.
and I'm planning on traveling light. Like we'll be hitting a wall
man.
when I touch down because I'm like bringing the bare essentials. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy stuff there.
Dude, if he's happy to, you know, put up with this mayhem house and crashing a room with Ben Coombs, that's up to him. And a dog called Joey. That's par for the course. Joey will be looking after you.
Nice.
Regarding the guitars. He's a good boy.
That'd be funny, JJ.
My deaf dog, he can't hear nothing. I can crank it in here and he's just there. Feels the vibes though.
It'd be funny. JJ wakes up, goes into the garage to wake up Ben. There's Ben wrapped around the 70s Les Paul, snoring away.
He's going to wake up and think he's in a dream with all these guitars everywhere.
Are you guys going to hit Norms?
Look at him. He's got the same thing going on. Is that a new? Is that new? That 12, that double neck?
Oh no, I've had that year and a half. It's not playable currently, but I have it.
You guys going to hit Norms?
You know what? It's the potential's there. I'm always good with potentials, but coming through with it never doesn't always happen. But it's absolutely on the cards. There's lots to do, but the problem is when NAMM actually happens, it's just mayhem. There's a lot going on there, right. And sometimes they always have the vintage guitar show at Orange County Fairgrounds,
right?
On the Sunday after NAMM. And you get free admission to that. And Norm's normally got something going there anyway. Mm-hmm. And there's all these vintage guitars. But you know what? I'm happy if we can make something happen. Ben's not here every day. You know what I mean? So if we're going to Norm's, it's not let's drive to Norm's. We're going to do Sunset Boulevard and all of that. We'll do a day trip. And I'm sure we'll do it, Ben. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
If you stay in the extra time, which you're more than welcome to do, and you're happy to chill a little bit, then we can certainly do that.
Yeah, I think I'm off Wednesday through the following Wednesday.
All right, then cool. So you're going to have like 3 extra days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll make something happen. You got to see it. You won't be, I mean, you're not going to be there for another year until the next NAMM.
Exactly.
Once you start, mate, you can't stop.
Well, that'll be the thing, right?
Like,
your wife will be in there to put something away or so. She's like, what's this Rubbermaid container with CWG on it? Oh, that's Ben's care package. He's got a bedroll in there. He's got a change of clothes. He just keeps here each year for damn.
As long as our old drummer Huey doesn't show up, he always crashes in here. We're like, dude, you can just crash inside. He's like, no, man, I want to be out there near the drums and all that. Yeah, no, he won't be here. Huey's always funny, though. He loves crashing in this room. But you're welcome to be inside as well, you know. Wherever you want to crash, man.
Yeah. Out on the beach.
Hey, you never know who he'll meet. He might be on the beach one night. You never know who he's going to meet.
Never know.
Recreate Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, and remember, Sean Silas wanted to go clubbing one night, so who knows what that could turn into.
Well, why go to the beach? You can have a hotel room for one night.
Yeah. We do have the hotel room for a night. Yeah, that's true.
And Michael has booked it, isn't he? It's booked.
Yep.
We just need to pay for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'll bung down. Yeah, I've always said that.
Soda Pop asked if I was going to be doing any surfing. Not me. I have a terrible sense of balance.
Richie wanted to surf when he came down, but
yeah.
Again, it's down to NAMM because NAMM just takes over. It's nuts.
Exactly.
I get quite itchy to get there as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with NAMM and I want to be there. I want to enjoy every bit about it. All these people, it's all this and the noise. I still love it. You know what I mean? Love it.
Exactly.
It's just
Disneyland.
Oh, dude, beyond Disney, it's beyond Disneyland. Once you can get past the drum section, that's not Disneyland. It's like freaking mayhem, dude.
Yeah, and I've got a list of places we got to touch base with, too.
All the beautiful guitars and amps and free picks.
Oh, yeah.
The picks are kind of chilled out, though, you know. It's
I
probably
don't know.
because
I got a lot at the events I was at this year. So,
dude, but they've got all the exclusive picks.
yes.
And like $5 a piece, and they're like giving them out.
Right.
You've got to keep putting your disguise on as you go around the circle. Yeah. Chicken picks, man. He always gives me 2. That's
Nice.
chicken picks, man. Anyone you guys rocking chicken picks? Still my favorite pick, and one fell out of the washing machine earlier, so that was killer. It's my last one. I sent Johnny Bean one, and chicken picks are killer.
Nice. Very nice. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, keep asking away. Adam says he's got a brown seal suit that I could borrow. Terry's got some chicken picks.
Yeah, Lando's all over the chicken pick. Perfect.
2.2 and a 3.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Aren't they killer?
Yep.
And what
never seen a chicken pick, never heard of a chicken pick till right now.
Really?
No.
I had
What
one
makes
given, and I won one.
them different than any other pick? What's the special sauce?
The chicken pick.
Different material and very thick is my understanding.
It's a very odd material, almost like a fatter Tortex. It's very odd. It's the oddest thing.
This one I actually won directly from Facebook giveaway by Chicken Pick.
Oh, it's tapered.
Triangle one.
They're all tapered though, right? Looks like it's tapered around the head.
Yeah, they're all tapered.
Yeah.
They have different ones. There's like four or five different ones. And they last forever, but they have a certain thunk to them, that a certain pick sound.
Right.
That one's a 3.5 millimeter.
They're all thick. You wouldn't be able to. I think if the material was thin, it would just.
So what's the thinnest they come?
I don't know. You'd have to go online.
Okay.
I think it's like a
2.2. I think 1.8.
Because they do like a little bit of give on a pick.
Well, sometimes, when the right pick's in your hands, you'd be amazed what a fatter pick will do to you.
Yeah, it seems to be
skills there.
in the rage a few years ago.
This is what I use right here.
I just tripped.
Hang on, here it is.
I can't use the Dava picks myself.
I love
Dava
them.
picks. But
I can't remember if correctly or not, but I think it was Blackjack actually gave me this Dragonheart.
dude, where's that?
And
What color is it?
for acoustic playing, I actually like the Dragonheart over
I'm
the
looking
Chicken
for
Pick.
that blue one. Well, that.
I'd like to try a chicken pick if I don't think I've ever come across
a
it.
chicken pick.
I don't know who would sell them here.
Chicken pick was in the pocket.
You can buy them directly. It's like
Okay, you got to buy them from Chicken Pick.
Lando
They
says
get them online. They got them on Amazon.
Amazon.
yeah. There's probably a couple of resources, but I think if you buy them directly, they do.
I'll get you one from them, dude. How about these ones? Anyone ever use these things, man?
Let's see. Oh, I used to use those. Yeah, man. I used to use those way back. Yeah.
What do you know? I got one sitting here on the top of my pick collection.
Yeah. I love those things.
Yeah, I couldn't get on with it. And then the last couple of days, I've been using it. I think Adam EVH uses these ones as well. And my kid's drum instructor, he left it here. And last couple of days, I was getting into it.
Yeah. I haven't used one in a long time, but I used to use those a lot. And then I used to use JD3s, and now I'm using Davas and JD3s.
Oh, the Jazz 3s?
Back and forth. Jim Dunlop 3s, little tiny picks.
Little Jazz
That's
3s.
what I use.
Yeah,
Oh, the little teeny weeny micro.
Little
tiny.
tiny guys, yeah.
Jazz 3s.
Jazz 3, yeah.
Red one or black one.
I thought they were toys.
No, they're nice, man. They're really nice. You get real play with those.
Joe uses these. He gave me them the other day. Look at these suckers. You left
What's that?
those things from the other day. They're in a packet and they pull out.
crazy.
See if I can.
I want to hear it. I wonder what it sounds like. They're like the make your own pick packet, you know.
Right.
That's a JD.
Used to make them out of milk cartons as well, years ago.
I got this official Gibson USA pick that I'll never use. I got a whole whack of them here.
I just use a
Zach,
basic.
what up, Zach
contact
Thong?
one.
Yeah, brother. He likes the Dragonheart guitar picks. Yeah, Soda Pop. You're still here, brother?
Yeah.
Kirk Hammett's heart-shaped greenies with the hole in them or the V cut in them. They're an odd thing.
Yeah.
What about gravity picks, anybody?
I got into gravity picks this summer because the gravity vendor gave me a bunch at Gearfest. So I put them through their paces. Great pick. I used one all night. It did shred a fair amount of material off of it, though. So
Really?
I think for the price point, it's not worth it for me.
Oh, damn.
Thin strings, they just shred
There's
them.
a standard too.
Okay.
And a lot of pick slides.
Yeah, I got the Rob Chapman one. That's my favorite one out of them. It's more like a Jazz 3 shape, really pointed.
Yeah, I like them pointy, and they got to have some kind of grip on them.
Yeah, I've actually been looking into these things. Something popped up on my feed the other day. The stuff you can put on picks. They're like the special gunk.
Oh, I don't want to do that, man.
Makes your fingers
Gorilla
stick.
snot.
Other things you can. Picks spin around in my fingers.
Yeah, that's why I got to have a grip on them. That's why the
spin around in
Davas.
360s, dude.
I like the rubber on the Davas. They're like, they don't spin on you.
Yeah, I find the only ones that don't spin for me are Tortex. I can't have any kind of a texture to them. Otherwise, the texture fills up with sweat, but I just need the actual smooth with whatever talc is on them.
I actually found two of my original picks that I was using way back in the day.
Ooh, Fender Mediums.
Oh, Zach
Fender
Thong.
Medium.
Zach Thong is just, or he was telling me, then he retracted the message that the Evil Empire sold chicken picks.
Uh-oh. Well, thank you for retracting that, Zach.
It was there, and then it's gone. Oh, yeah, those Fender ones, yeah.
Pick Talk rocks, man. These are nice. The Dunlop, these are Tortex. This is an in-between. It's a 0.58.
Wow.
Wow, that's really small. That's
Oh,
thick.
I love it.
I was
I
using
use all different
these
sizes
for a
of picks
while.
for different playing.
See the skinny one?
These things would last about one set. I could get maybe an hour out of them.
No kidding.
I'll
Yeah,
figure-
There's my collection.
Do you go in quite? I mean, do you pinch a pick back, or you have quite a bit of pick exposed as you're playing?
I have
Very
next
little.
to no pick exposed.
very little exposed.
Right. Okay.
Not me. I actually think I have a lot of pick exposed in my playing.
Soda Pop recommends sex wax for your pick. That is a surfboard
just
wax,
your
though, Hack, in
surfboard
case you don't know.
Yeah, Lando the jellyfish.
It's
pick
not
in the
something you
toilet.
get in the mail that no one else knows about. Apparently, you rub it on your pick. Yeah. It's still spin around in my fingers. Sometimes I actually like playing with that rounded bit, you know. You don't even know it's there sometimes. You get lost in it.
Yeah, mine I wear down the side quite a bit, but then it allows me to do better pick slides because thick picks you can't slide as well. They don't dig into the strings as easy, right?
Yeah, that's the only
So-
criticism I have of the Dava pick is you can't pick slide them because
Yeah.
of the rubber on it.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I'm
I got a pick slide. I couldn't go a night without it pick sliding.
You get a pick slide pedal.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Next.
Haven't seen them yet.
Well, there was a
Yeah.
harmonics pedal that came out was it last year. And even though you played with instant harmonic, you guys remember?
Yeah. That's a killer pedal, man. That's
Yeah.
called a... Come on, someone in the chat. What is it? Man.
I don't know the name of it. But it's instant harmonics.
It'll really just... That's an incredible pedal. A lot of people use that with a Helix because it's hard to get feedback with a Helix.
Right.
So people playing live on stage, so they get that pedal. Come on, guys, throw it out there.
Yeah,
Gorilla
someone's
Snot.
got to know what that pedal was.
Gorilla Snot, that's the stuff for the picks. That's it.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Human snot is for more evolved players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find I expose very little pick because after a gig, I've worn down my fingernail considerably.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Well, I hold it tight so that if I want to do a pinch, it's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's calling that pedal.
No,
I'm too lazy to pick up my phone. If I have to, I need to know.
What is it?
It's like a sustainer pedal, but it's a harmonic pedal. It's insane. Robert Baker was screwing with everyone a few weeks ago.
Well,
Did you see that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
He had that pedal, and he didn't let anyone know. He was just doing his normal show, and he'd like do some licks, some shred licks, and he'd hit the pedal, but you couldn't see him do it, and then he'd do something with his finger on the fretboard, and it would just like hit this crazy harmonic, and then he'd carry on playing, and then like carry on talking as normal. Like everyone, all his like comments later were like, "Man, what's that trick you're doing with the guitar?" And he kept it going for a few days. Then eventually goes, "All right, guys, I got to let you know. Here's the secret." And it's
is it the freak out pedal?
there it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, George.
there
George
is
Bader. The freak out pedal.
You're
Check
welcome.
it out. It's
Jeez,
definitely I want that pedal kind of pedal. Which is I gotta shout out to the OCD pedal. For the love of my Helix and the gift that I don't know has been given to us in the music. I mean, I love a Helix, I really do. But I'm gonna get an OCD pedal because I miss that pedal. Of all the pedals, that OCD pedal is incredible, and I've started looking for a used one just to have it in the chain.
Which version? There's 7 of them, right?
I had the version, I think it was the version 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I think was the second to last one, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Now the Helix has got all the versions in it, and versions with mods as well. They're all in there, and you could probably match it. You know, some of my pedals I matched with the Helix identically. I mean, it's very, with my ears which are short, I could barely hear the difference. But the OCD has a certain summon for any of you guys who have it.
Yeah.
We got Sean Zimmerman joining us in the guitar pit. Welcome, guys.
Yeah,
we got
welcome,
50
Sean
people
Zimmerman.
watching tonight.
Hey, JJ, did you ever try the Plimsoll?
Never tried it. Always thought about it since Captain Anderton
Yeah.
loves that
Yeah,
pedal.
that's kind of his go-to, eh?
Yeah,
know
that
what?
was always,
If you ever get
always
a
got
chance,
pitched for it.
JJ, if you ever get a chance, AB a Plimsoll against an OCD and let me know what happens.
Okay, interesting.
Just try it.
But I don't know whether the Plimsoll will push into kind of higher. If you boost an OCD
Yeah.
with like an 808,
Yeah. Tube screamer. Yeah.
it will with a screamer, it will almost kick into a high gain distortion with some thickness to it.
You can do that without anything in front of the Plimsoll.
Oh,
The
really? You can get in a
Plimsoll,
high
yeah.
gain territory with the
Oh,
Plimsoll?
yeah, you can. The Plimsoll's like it's like 2 pedals in one. You got
Oh.
a high gain stage and then like a regular stage, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I'd love to check it out.
Yeah,
I know that
Plimsoll-
Captain loved it.
I got a feeling if you tried the Plimsoll, you'd forget all about an OCD. That's
Are you
just
serious?
I'm damn
Wow.
serious.
I mean, you love the OCD pedal, didn't you, Joe? Remember my OCD?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was fantastic.
You know, for edge of
Sure.
breakup sounds and then thick grunty, and that switch between fat and thin for tellies and stuff was just
And Will's asking who makes the freak out pedal. That'd be Digitech.
Thing is, though, the Helix, this is the great thing about the Helix, not to rant on about it, but the next update from Helix will probably have a freak out pedal in it.
Right.
And we just keep getting all these updates, and they're killer.
No, Blackjack is agreeing with me.
Yay.
All right.
Hack is correct. Thanks, Blackjack.
Okay, man, I'm going to go check it out. There's one, there's a used one in Guitar Center in the shelf right now. I know that. A
Yeah,
Plimsoll.
they're awesome. That's my favorite, probably my favorite overdrive.
And have you tried an OCD?
Well, that's why I'm telling you to do because
I guess you would have tried it. You ain't just want to freaking say it, are you?
I did.
No, I'm definitely gonna do it. I want to check it out.
I wanted an OD pedal, and they suggested an OCD, and I tried the OCD, and they also had a plimsoll. And as soon as I heard the plimsoll, the OCD just went away.
Right.
Blew it away. 6 ways for Sunday.
And which version OCD was it?
Oh, you know what? That I couldn't tell you.
They are very different. They are very different.
It was probably one of the newer or later versions. It's what they had. So this, I'm going back not that long ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
See, I'm so obsessed with the OCD. I'm actually concerned if I get the same version of OCD, it might not even be the same as my one pedal I had.
Right.
That was a magic pedal.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. I'm definitely going to check that plimsoll out, though.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
And one other thing I missed, the whammy, the original whammy. Dude. And you guys into whammy pedals?
Uh-oh. Soda Pop's asking Jimmy T to try to crack the hack in me.
Any love for whammy pedals anywhere?
No.
I wouldn't mind trying whammy pedals. I have no use for one currently, gig-wise, but I'd be curious to play with one. Like, I could see having some fun with it.
I for sure would love to have an original one to try to do some Morello stuff. I've heard that the newer version of it can't actually replicate what Morello does.
No, it won't. But no one can replicate what Morello does anyway.
The latest one is the closest to the first one, if that makes sense.
Right.
Hey, Loogie Flux.
They're going to say that, though, aren't they, Ben?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yes, Jimmy T. I had a question earlier, Hack. Did Kiss ever have a #1 single?
I Was Made for Loving You, I believe, was #1 in somewhere in Europe. Somewhere in Europe, it was a #1 song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I knew they had, in the 70s, let's say half a dozen songs that got close, like well into the top 10, but I didn't think they ever had a #1.
Beth, I don't know if it actually hit #1. Would have been the other one, the other song.
I was
Hard
thinking,
Luck Woman.
I was thinking of Crazy Nights. That was later on, but it
Crazy Nights in England was a hit, only in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only in the UK. I don't know if it got to #1 though. Jimmy T's asking me what country. You're killing me, buddy. I don't know. I think somewhere like Denmark or somewhere like that. Yeah. That was actually, I Was Made for Loving You was their biggest international single. That I know for a fact.
There we go.
Metal Stage. I had a Kiss lunchbox.
If you still had it, it'd be worth something.
Yeah.
I still have around here 3 or 4 Kiss trading cards.
I had the full set. That was another question that Jimmy asked me. How many cards were there in that set?
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking 72 myself.
I thought it was 70 something, but he says it was only 66 of them. And apparently they're not worth a hell of a lot. He said $60 on eBay. So.
Oh, they made a ton of them, yeah.
Yeah. All right, don't get me started on Kiss. I'll be here all day. By the way, guys.
I'll talk Ace Frehley. He rocks.
Ace, he's right there.
Yes, did you? I think, I don't know if you, I think you saw it in a chat we were in a few days ago, Hack. I was watching some covers of Rocket Ride, okay? Like Ace playing it live. Because I'm hooked on that song, right? Like literally, I don't think I'd heard that song since high school, and I stumbled across it. And then sure enough, you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing that song in a video that's going up later. I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I was checking it, but it was really sad seeing his famous Cherry Burst Custom with the banjo tuners with a Washburn Wonder Bar drum system on it. And I'm just like, oh dear Lord, what is that?
Yeah.
Why?
That was when the Frelly's Comet. That was around when the first Frelly's Comet record came out. Yeah. Yeah, he went whammy for a while.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe, too, in the Rocket Ride song, one, the blatant use of the small stone throughout on the recorded version, And the fact that Ace Frehley rocks a wah through most of that solo.
Well, in the studio version, he was using, I think it was a phaser. Was it a phaser?
Yeah, the small stone phaser.
Yeah, yeah. So it was heavy phaser. So then I don't know why he would use a wah on that.
But for the solo, he used a wah on the solo.
Yeah, but just think now you can get
wah,
a Wigsby.
Sorry, yeah, a wah, yeah. I'm thinking, yeah, you said wah, and I was thinking whammy bar. Yeah, a wah. He's using a wah through it. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Kirk Hammett levels
Kirk
of
Hammett.
wah.
That's where he got the idea, right?
Yeah. RJ says he thinks he remembers Beth being in the top 10 on Billboard. I could see it pushing up.
Yeah,
into
I
the
can
top
see
10.
that, but I don't know about number one. They did win the People's Choice Awards in 1976 for that song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Metal Stage saying the Kiss lunchbox went over well at Catholic school, and Adam said so did the Motley Crue shirts.
Yeah.
I remember, yes, I'm trying to think, had Dr. Feelgood come out yet? But for those remember, the North American tour was called the Kick-Ass Tour, which shows how much times have changed, because that tour shirt was banned in my high school for having the word ass on it. Yeah.
What about Gua?
Gore.
You see, Guar was okay because they used all that metal font. You know, they kind of set the framework for all these band logos you can't read. You know, you'd have to sit there. It was like an eye test for 5 minutes deciphering what a Guar t-shirt said.
Rar?
Soda Pop asked, when did Ronnie Wood join the Stones? I believe 1973. Late 72, early 73.
Who's going to go see him on the new tour?
Not me. For the price of a ticket to see them in Toronto, I can buy a guitar.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy money here to see him.
Gonna go see.
We were talking
Nolan
the day
Lardner
before they announced the tour. I was talking to my buddy. The day before they announced the tour, we said we'll probably never see him tour again. And then the next day they announced the tour. We called him up. I'm like, can you believe that?
Well, Zach Thong's got a question. Ben, JJ, Terry, and Guitar Hack, do any of you have a guitar pick punch? I guess those things that you make your own picks?
Yeah, I wanted one. I don't have one.
I don't have one.
My old drummer had one.
I actually got given one by Secret Santa. Or no, it was Santa Swamp Ash. Whoever it was, I can't remember, like a few years back. In the other group that I was involved with, all of a sudden Santa Swamp Ash popped up on videos, and it was like, well, who's this? You know, is this some type of trolling account? And next thing you know, people out of nowhere were getting these packages from Amazon, and people were given random stuff. I got a pick punch. Bruce, aka Suave Trainwreck, I think he got some type of radio kind of thing. Someone else got like a cheap like Lux distortion pedal or something. It's kind of cool that somebody actually took the time to actually. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Suave said it was a clock because I think he was going on about Unabomber stuff at the time.
And since it's generating lots of questions tonight, yes, the double neck is a Fibson or a Chibson, not a real deal.
It's got a little yellow.
You buy it off CGS?
Yeah. Buddy of mine needed $50. I needed a conversation piece, so there we are.
Yeah,
Is it playable?
Not at this moment. The tailpiece for the 12-string was made out of such cheap metal that it's actually curved under tension. And let me guess, Lando, that was your question. Can I ask a question?
What's that guitar you got behind you, Hack?
Wow.
No strings.
Behind me? I don't have any guitar. What's that?
On the couch with no strings.
That's a toy.
Oh my lord!
That's a little wooden one that my wife made.
Look at that thing.
Time to cut back on the Baileys.
I got
It's
one
my
right
favorite-
here, though.
Told you it's my favorite color.
Here's one.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
It's a Strat. This is one right beside me here. This one I've been playing a lot lately, actually. Yeah, this is a, geez, I don't even know what year this is. 2014, maybe? Something like that? Oh, I'm being presented. Ooh.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. It's,
Someone holds up a guitar, they get
Looks
presented.
very clean.
That's the way it works.
That's a beautiful Strat.
yeah, I like it a lot. It's got the, oh, what are they called? The 50-something pickups? Fat 50s.
Okay.
50s, yeah.
So it's got, because I don't like really thin, and it's actually got, even though they're single coils, they got a fair bit of punch. So that's the way I like it. So, yeah.
Very cool. Very nice.
Got my Les Paul here too, if you want to see that.
Love to.
I got one of them. Here's one of them.
One of them.
One of.
It's my
Yeah, sweet.
that's 2016 Les Paul Standard. It's the first Standard I ever owned. I got this for my 50th birthday. Oh, I absolutely love this thing, man.
Yeah, it's
It's
beautiful.
just the light burst, they call it.
Yeah, kind of a honey burst almost.
Yeah,
Little
but
touch
it
more.
doesn't have the brown. It has more of the red
Yeah.
tinge to it. So
Yeah.
it's like a faded cherry kind of thing to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, this thing's awesome.
And now we can start the big debate. Les Paul's with or without pick guards.
I go both. I like both.
Read on the ad.
Already.
See ya, RJ.
My neighbor.
Yeah, later, RJ.
Will
Yeah,
says
okay.
one of his strats has Texas specials in it. Those are nice pickups.
Isn't that what Stevie Ray Vaughan used? The Texas Specials?
Yeah, I believe so. Center says my local shop had an old stock 88 Les Paul custom today. Nice.
Wow.
Oh,
That would have been
Thanks,
one
guys.
grab.
Man, I'm digging. Is it Broken Chains who's got the Randy Rhoads Epiphone?
Oh yeah. No, that's it's a Chinese knockoff, Randy. Rhoads.
Yeah, it's a knockoff.
Yeah.
But that thing's sick, man. Have you seen it? Have you
Oh, he did a great job with that.
Dude, that thing's sick.
okay. I gotta
Yeah, it's
answer
like-
this. I gotta
There's
answer this
Gibsons
question.
and then there's Gibsons, and that one there, you can tell they took the time to check the paint, everything.
Okay, let me just answer this question. No robo tuners.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
well-
never a debate on that, with or without.
No
Yeah.
robos.
If you want a sharp one, you should check out Blackjack's new rose gold Les Paul she got. That's sharp.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's a nice guitar, Blackjack.
You know, them Robo tuners sucked, but I did like the idea of that adjustable nut.
The nut. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact it was brass as well, or whatever metal that thing was.
Yeah, it was brass, but wasn't the
Adjustable.
neck also a little wider on those guitars?
The what?
Wasn't the neck? Is that there was? I think
Maybe.
the
That
slightly
probably
wider
wouldn't
neck.
bug me. Probably
Because that
wouldn't have
wider
bugged me.
neck threw me completely.
Really?
The Les Paul anniversary ones in 2015, you mean? Yes, they did have a wider neck.
Yeah.
That is actually also the profile on the HP series models.
Yeah, which I don't like. Yeah, a friend of mine bought one with the wider neck, thinking, "Hey, this is really cool." Then he took it back like 3 months later because it wore out very quickly.
Jimmy T
I
said,
do
would,
like the idea of the adjustable height on the nut with the HP
Yeah, that
line.
wasn't a bad
That
idea.
I thought was a great idea because some people like a higher nut action and other people want it really low, right?
Yeah,
and some guitars need it just right, don't they?
Yeah.
Jimmy T says, would you use Robo tuners if they worked? I had some on a Fender. I can't remember what. It was one of them reissue tellies. For some reason, they were on there. It was a Japanese one. Someone had put them on there. And it had like an auto like restring thing where it'd restring and you press the button. Dude, the string, bing, just snap. And the thing was out of control, man. Buttons are just, you know, knobs are just turning. That thing was out of control. I don't think they'd ever get that.
Sinner said he liked the rubber tuners only because he's lazy.
I'd go with the Evertune bridge, man. That thing seems killer.
Yeah.
That thing is sick.
That thing's a miracle of modern science.
That thing's mental. I mean, straight off an aeroplane, completely in tune, never out of tune, no matter what the temperature.
Yeah.
And you can adjust it to bend a string, or you can have it so you bend a string and it doesn't even move.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, the thing with the robo tuners too is if your battery wore out and you tried to tune them by hand, the gear ratio was like 0.
Right, yeah.
You'd spin them for like an hour and you might go up like a half step or something. Yeah.
But it did. Once you kind of nailed it down and all the out of control mayhem was solved because you went online and figured the sucker out, then and didn't just randomly press buttons and figured it would work.
Yeah.
The alternate tunings and stuff was pretty amazing. Because you could just literally press for an alternate tuning and it all goes zing, ding, 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 and then micro adjustments and you were there.
Oh, yeah.
Dad or whatever, man.
You know, like, what, 10, 15 years ago, you know, mid-90s, when the owner of the Gibson dealer locally, he's like, dude, you got to check this out. And we're like, what is this witchcraft? And at that time, you know, a lot of it was all based around with your your volume control and stuff like that, with push-pull pots. And I was like, what is this voodoo? This is amazing. Till you realized it took longer for the robotuners to tune your guitar than you could string a guitar, it seemed.
Man, you gotta be a lazy ass if you need that to tune a guitar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that, the idea was the laziest one in the office, for sure.
Yeah.
Terrible.
What a ridiculous. He's like, man, I tell you what, let's try and make it tune itself.
A motor on every...
But then again, at that time, not a lot of us had like tuner pedals, and you know, you were still plugging into like.
No, we had ears. Yes.
What?
We're gonna be on violins next. Like, no.
But you know, ears don't work when you're on stage playing live and you can't hear shit and you're just hitting a string and you can't hear nothing, but everyone's telling you you're out of tune.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, definitely wasn't anything like this you could put on your headstock either.
Oh, those things are awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I got the twin of that one. I got the red one. I picked the red as well.
Yeah, I got a red one too, right here. It was on the
here somewhere. And I got a blue one sitting on one of the amps right there.
Yeah, man.
Oh, those are cool.
If you're out of tune,
tuner in the Helix, that thing's sick.
Love it.
If you're out of tune, just add gain. Yeah, because it's on grunge.
Yeah, more distortion.
Yeah, same as if you forget the chord, just palm mute.
Discord. I was just doing discords, man.
Yeah, and if you miss the note, just,
in there.
if you miss the note, just keep bending.
Yep.
Hey, it'll find its own.
Or just do the same screw up the next verse and call it your version of the song, right?
That's jazz. That's jazz.
Yeah. Play all the notes.
All right, Guitar Pit. He believes that the blue snark is the one true path. All right. Fair enough. I'd go green if it was green, man. I tell you that.
And Will says I'm old school, tuning before a gig on stage like everyone used to. Oh yeah, I'm usually checking my tuning. Like if I hit a sour note in a guitar solo, well, it's got to be the tuning. You know, so I'm right on that tuner after the song.
Yeah.
But there's so much movement with that temperature change on stage and that rapid playing.
Oh yeah,
It's nuts.
how many pedals Soda Pop asks? Let's see.
Enough to make you go cross-eyed.
16. It looks like 16 up there. And another Another 14 on the board, so an even 30 that I can see.
I can't remember
wait,
how many I squeezed on the board. Well,
32, it looks like I've got. I don't know.
I know exactly because I just had to buy a new ISO brick for mine
I
on
was going to
Friday.
mention to you about that, using the isolated outputs. What I do is sometimes, like you use 100 milliamp output on your power supply,
Right.
but I'll daisy chain 2 overdrives to that one lead, ones that I'll never use together.
Right.
You know?
I can do that. That'll work. Yeah,
I've got a bunch of that going on. Yeah, because I'm using that 8-slot power supply that JJ gave me, and I'm running 13 pedals off of it because my volume pedal is passive.
well, what happened is I had a Voodoo, and they're supposed to be really good, right? The Voodoo Labs one, and I was losing ports on it for whatever reason, and you know, worked good for about 2 years, and then it was starting to get flaky on me, and so Friday, the day of the show, which is not, I wouldn't recommend to go out and buy a new brick and strip your board and rewire the whole thing hours before you go on stage. But I did it and it all worked out fine. But I got a one spot with 12 now, so I got more than enough. I got more than enough, and there's a lot of 100 milliamp slots, but I got some 500s, and I got I think 1 or 2 18 volters that'll do 18 volts. So
right,
yeah. And
I'm loving that Donner power supply that you included, JJ. That thing, man, that thing works great.
they're awesome.
Is that your old board?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's my old board, dude.
Here, hang on, Joe.
Oh yeah. He's gonna let rip.
Let me show you.
Oh, I thought you were gonna play for a minute.
There it is.
Look at that.
There you go.
It's nicely
That's
done.
pretty sweet.
There's a few additions there, I think, as well. But yeah, looking good.
None of my pedals.
Oh, it's just the board.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right, man. Can we hear it then? Can you play us some of that 12-string stuff?
I wish, but 12-string isn't playable.
Ah. You can't do The Song Remains the Same then? Just bust it out real
No,
fast.
I wish. I leave actually. Richie plays a Dean. What's it? Boca, which is a semi-hollow body 12-string, the size of a 339. He does all the 12-string stuff,
Right.
and we pair that up with a Telecaster every night, and ooh, the tones.
Blackjack is asking me which one. If she's talking about the brick, I bought a one spot CS12. That's what I got.
Oh. How are you doing on time, Hack?
It's 10 o'clock. I'm okay. I'm good.
We'll go for a little bit yet.
Yeah, I'm fine. I got my favorite. I know it's your favorite too.
Yeah.
Fuel. I got fuel. I'm good.
And I saw, let's see, Guitar Pit has the same power supply, the Donner. Yeah.
I'm just ready to play.
Yeah, JJ was nice enough to include the power supply when he sent the pedal board to me this spring, early summer.
Oh.
Then we built it live on the air one night, and I got halfway through the build and ran out of patch cables.
Okay. Sorry, she's asking me which one failed. I'll show you. Blackjack. This one right here.
Pedal Power 2 Plus.
Yeah, they're usually a good unit.
Oh, these are good, man. I don't know. I mean, it worked good for like 2 years of lots of gigs and rehearsals, and then I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it and use the working ports, and you know.
I was going to say, worst case, I have the contact info of the repair department because I was going to send a pedal off to them to get fixed.
It's like lagging or something. I keep seeing my.
I have
got
one
one.
of the original Sparkle drives, which actually isn't even here. I should get that back off a friend of mine.
Just look underneath of the chair.
Okay, Blackjack just bought the Mondo. Nice.
This is
Yeah, the Mondo's the king. That's the one to get. If you're going big on pedal boards, you got to get the Mondo.
Yeah.
I think this is the one I'm looking for to find a spot for. That one right there.
Oh man, that's a great pedal. I regret. I do kind of regret the trade.
Too late.
I know. Yeah,
What is
considering
that?
like,
Any flashback or something?
That Bad Horse I sang is cool. Come on.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is gonna go on my board. Now that I'm done with gigs for the year, I'm gonna start playing around with this more, and I'll find a home for it for sure. And it's nice and small, so it'll save me some space.
And I can't believe the tones you can get out of that thing.
Oh man, I did a demo on this. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I put a video up. I was playing around with this. It sounded great. Yeah.
And it does give you a Marshall type tone. You know, like a lot of pedals claim to sound like a this or that, you know, whatever. But that thing, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soda Poppy says grab the drum stool so you can sit down.
I like how they got around the like any copyright by spelling Marshall with one L. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
Well, it's part of their quote unquote outlaw pedals, right?
Yeah.
LPD Marshall.
We're not even going to spell Marshall right. Yeah.
Could have called it Marshmallow.
You guys see Henning got a JCM 800 sent to him by Marshall? Lucky
I
thing.
did.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised
I've seen
when
him
it says
trying to
my
install
first
it.
Marshall. I'm like, you mean in that wall of amps you didn't own a Marshall?
Yeah, it was his
He
first
didn't like
one.
Marshalls. He didn't like them.
Wonder
Then all
what
of a
one.
sudden,
It's nothing better than a Marshall, just my opinion.
his theory's great, man, for tone comparison. I mean, it's the original,
Yeah, that's your bass
the
line.
king of rock. I mean,
Right.
everything compares to a Marshall, and he didn't have one, and he's like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah, where's the benchmark, right? Your
That's your
baseline.
bass line. Yeah,
Fender and Marshall.
that's right.
I really want to try a Rev amp myself.
A which?
Dude.
A Rev.
Oh, Rev.
Beast.
Yeah. Like they're all over YouTube, all over the rest of the world, and I feel bad because it seems like I talk to more Canadians that are like, what? I've never heard of them. And then everyone's like, they're a Canadian company. I'm like, how am I not aware of this? But it's because no Canadian stores carry them, right?
I've never seen one, Ben.
Glenn Fricker even has a Rev.
Yeah.
Well, all the big,
there's-
all the big
gave
guys
one
have
away.
Rev.
You know,
Me and Joe played one at NAMM a couple of years ago. He had the booth there and cranked to full volume, and it's serious movement, serious bass and air movement, and incredible
Response, man. Response
Yeah,
and headroom.
aggressive tones, vintage tones. It was, remember that the Rev booth?
Oh,
dude?
yeah, it got my heart beating.
Oh, dude, that was incredible. And he's banging out like just Zeppelin riffs, just one after the other, and AC/DC at full volume.
Nice.
It was incredible.
It says when you hit 100K subs, they auto ship you a Rev. Okay, so if there's 9,500 watching, please all subscribe.
Yeah.
It's MIDI as well, so it's like the Mesa, the
Right.
Triple Crown. It's all MIDI, so you can. It's got
That's
a couple
right.
of hundred
That's right.
storage presets in it. You can just
That's
anything you dial in, you can just save it.
It's a digital front
Yeah.
end on a tube system.
But killer tones.
Digital switching, but the signal was always analog, but it had digital switching somehow.
Yeah, it was all digital switching. It was all MIDI.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
all
that
MIDI.
is an option, Sinner. Sinner says just buy the subs and get the amp.
If you want like a nice old classic sounding Marshall for cheap, I highly recommend the Origin series, man. They're fantastic amps. Robert Baker has one. And he loves
Yes. Tone Boner mentions, there was a Rev amp for sale in Sterling. I saw that. Yeah. A little out of my price range, unfortunately.
Thrash Metal wants Joe to play some Slayer. Joe, do you know any Slayer?
Thrash metal wants everybody to play some Slayer.
I seen Slayer once, man. It was awesome.
Yes,
Where's
and somebody had said like a Marshall in the chat earlier. I like the idea of a Marshall. I've always had a really hard time dialing in a tone that I like on a Marshall, though. Like, I love Marshalls. I love the sound of a Les Paul into one. But for me, as a player, it doesn't work for me.
Really? I only play out of Marshalls just about.
I know. I wish I could. I have a really hard time dialing in my sound, you know. Really?
At a rehearsal now, I was just playing out of a DSL 100, which is another amazing Marshall amp. I love the DSL. So, and then the other place, I think it's a JCM 900 that I play out of.
That's sick. Yeah. I love them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. But the origin,
the guy had a Telly for sale too that had the Rev amp for sale. I know that Telly. That's a nice guitar, man. Congrats.
Hey, Tone Boner's asking, what is that Strat that Joe's playing? That is a Warmouth Strat. Check it out, man. Some of you guys may have seen it.
I like the finish on that. That's nice. You can see the grain right through. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's Warmouth body and Warmouth neck. Crazy bird's eye on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got, I think is it GSW pickups in it. They're humbucker-sized P90s.
Right.
I put them in. It did have pearly gates in them.
Jimmy T says, have I tried with the presence turned down on a Marshall, especially with a Telly? I was playing Les Pauls through them, actually. I was just trying to get at my like a good Les Paul tone, and I was just having a really hard time.
Wow.
I find, too, like, I do lean more towards the Plexi style, your lower gain Marshalls, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, like, I can get there. I can get close. It's just I think I'm more at home just with a Fender amp or a Fender style amp. But I'm curious to try other stuff, too. So I'm always looking to, you know, it's one of those, you chase your tone for a year, and as soon as you're happy with it, you look for a new tone.
So you played your Les Paul through your Fender amp? Is that what that's the sound?
I run everything through a Fender amp now. Yeah, Les Pauls, Tellys, my P90 guitars.
Just to be bright, like to be brighter.
Yeah, I go for a lot of mids, a lot of highs. Not a lot of bass at all in my tone.
Cut through the mix, but you play a lot of live.
Yeah.
You play mostly clean or mostly? Well, how do you play?
Very low gain. Low gain.
Yeah.
A lot of like usually like a Klon style pedal in front of it.
So Jeff Replinger is saying if you're going Marshall, get a real one made in England. All the new DSL and Origin series are made in China and not as good. Well, of course, the English ones are better. They're also a lot more expensive. And I don't know, the DSL series sounds pretty good to my ears.
Well, is it the DSL that you can actually get some lower volume tones? It's not all about just cranking it with a DSL.
Yeah, there's power soaks. I got power soaks on this one.
It's got a power soak built into it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. I thought so.
Yeah.
Because the king to get is the JMP1 or the JCM 800 with the vertical inputs. That's the king. Yeah. That with the tube screamer, all pending your tones, but
yeah. No, it's cool that they're doing stuff like that because now Marshalls are affordable, right? You know, and they still sound good, man. At least to my ears. I'd love to get a 25. What is it? 25 the Jubilee, Silver Jubilee.
Right.
Right.
I mean, Jesus, what a 25 watt head. I think is near what is it, $1,600 or $1,700? Maybe more than that for 25 watts. Just not. It's a little too.
Lando's correcting Jeff. He says Vietnam, not China. All made on Earth.
yeah, brother. Absolutely.
And then, Bruce says, weren't trainer amps made in a real country? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
made
Trainer.
Up the road for me.
Trainer were all over the rehearsal studios in England, man. They were everywhere.
Well, they're all built an hour from me. Well, basically halfway between Hack and me.
Do you remember, Ben? This is going way, way back. Well, I'm a little older than you though, but I remember back in the early '80s when I'd go to the Evil Empire.
Yeah.
And they had the trainer amps there, the first generation trainer amps, and they were like, they sounded like dog turds, but they were like they would last forever.
Yeah.
They were real beater amps. And how far they've come now, like where they actually make a good amp. Like their amps are actually very, very good.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, you weren't tone chasing with a trainer, but they would never let you down.
No, they were all solid state.
Yeah, kind of like PV, right? No nonsense, just reliable.
Yeah, I had the PV. My first amp was a PV Backstage.
Yep.
It sounded like garbage, but it's solid state, and yeah, the thing lasted forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and go figure. The Evil Empire would have them, tons of them for sale because it's the same company.
Yeah, they made them. Yeah.
And they used to do a cool thing too. Yorkville/Trainer, that if you were a mom and pop and carried their product, they would send you unbadged Yorkville cabs, and you would have your own store logo put on them, so you could have your own house brand.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
And Gussie says, yeah, the trick was to modify the old trainers.
Yeah. Well, some of those old trainers are worth a lot of money right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't they just modified Marshall circuits anyway?
Good question. So you mean modified Fender circuits?
Yeah, I mean, that all jumps down the line, but
which is all RCA
they all had to copy from somewhere.
Yeah, Bruce, Yorkville and Trainer is in fact the same company. Their manufacturing is right off the 401 in Pickering, Ontario.
Whoa. Michael B had the first amp as I did. That's what a coincidence, man. PV Backstage.
Well, it's like, I'm surprised how many people in this community own 1989 American Strats. I think there's 3 or 4 of us that own them.
I had a 91. I had the one with the lace sensor.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know I have one. Steve Anderson has one. And I saw somebody else mention they had one just the other day. I'm like, Jesus, everybody's got 89 Strats.
You know, I got a funny story about mine. I bought it in 90. I think it was 92. Do you remember when the lace sensors came out? Fender lace sensors? Yeah. So I had one, and they had like gold, and they had red, and they had blue lace sensors, and they all had different profiles to them, right? The ones that were most like single coil sounding, like most Gibbs or Stratty sounding, were the gold. So I bought one with 3 golds. I did with that. Easily over 200 shows I played with that guitar, and I sold it about 3 years ago for what I paid for it back in '92. I played that guitar for free for 25 years or something. Yeah, because they held their value, because apparently those lace sensor Fenders from back then, they called them, I think it was called a Strat Plus. I think was the model name. They had the Wilkinson roller nut on it.
Yep.
I think those things, they actually held their value. So sometimes you get lucky with stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, like my Strat that I picked up, this was the exact same thing Clapton was playing at the time, except he had the lace sensors.
Right.
Identical Strat. Like everyone thinks, oh, he played his black Strats. Not in the late 80s. He played the same color, this bluish gray kind of, with lace sensors and locking tuners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that basically I was playing a Clapton because it was black as well. It just didn't have the V neck on it. It had the regular neck.
And Landon was asking, has anyone played or owned red knob Fenders? Not myself.
No.
Pewter. That's the color I was looking for. Yeah, it's kind of a pewter color. Thanks, old man Dan.
What's the red knob Fenders? You mean red knob Fender amps?
Yeah. Yeah, they had red knobs on the amp.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had a Princeton Chorus amp, a solid state. Is that what he's talking about?
They were like red knobs, weren't they?
Yeah, red knobs. Yeah, I had that for a while. That thing sounded like crap. It was a bad amp. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah.
Well, I remember, like when I got into playing, it was cheaper to buy a solid state amp than it was to buy a set of tubes for a tube amp.
Yeah.
Like 6L6 tubes were like, man, for one 6L6, and I'm talking the late 80s, early 90s, cost as much as a set of 6L6s today. Because nobody was using tube amps for this part, you know.
Oh, really?
A handful of Marshall guys, and that was it. Everyone else was going with solid state.
Because I bought just a preamp tube the other day. One preamp tube cost me like $26. 12AX7. And then I bought a couple of power tubes the other day, and I think I paid $60 for 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're getting really pricey now too.
See a soda pop?
Classic.
Yeah, that Princeton chorus that I had was a solid state amp. That's why it sounded like crap. It was just not. It was a 212 too, I think.
Right.
12 or 210, something like that.
And probably an open back, I'd imagine.
Pardon me?
And probably open back amp too, right?
I don't even remember.
Those 68 reissue Princetons are also, if anyone's played through them.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, that's the real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the reissue one, the 68 reissue, because they adjusted something in the gain stage.
Right.
That sucker to full. I think it's 18 watts or something, or 22 watts. Can't remember the wattage on it. But man, that thing's awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
1x12.
Adam was saying in the 90s he was quoted $500 to replace the tubes in a 65 reissue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was
crazy.
ridiculous at that time.
Old Man Dan is asking if I've played a blues breaker, the 18 watt with 212s. It's effing loud. No, I've never played a blues breaker.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, I kind of stay away from them because I know how much they weigh. Yeah, they're heavy. I had for a while, the PV Classic 50s?
Yeah,
they're awesome.
The chicken head knobs?
I have one right there.
Okay, I had the one. It was all tweed, and it had 4 10-inch speakers in it. That thing probably weighed about 80 pounds.
Oh yeah. Their equivalent, their version of a DeVille, essentially.
Yeah, it was massive. I mean, things sounded great, but oh my god, to carry that thing in and out of the house was ridiculous. That thing was big and full.
Suave Trainwreck's got one of the 80s Rivera era Fenders. Now, wasn't that the one? Wasn't that the Princeton that was modified with a different stage by Rivera? Or was it a Rivera copy of a Fender? Let's know, Suave. I'd like to know. Because I know the Rivera amps, those 80s ones, had the 10-inch speakers in.
Mm-hmm.
The EVM 10Ls, which are super rare.
Right.
Guitar Pit's asking, how long do tubes typically last?
Fact. Love it. They're like $600 a piece.
It really depends.
No, it's the EVM 10Ls.
Well,
environment is a big factor. Like where he's based, he will probably get typically, like, let's say same type of music, same volume, same taxation on tubes. His tubes are going to last a year and a half longer than they will for us, because for us, the extreme temperature changes.
Yeah, that's why you don't leave tube amps in the car overnight.
That's right. We have about, I'd say 6 months where we can leave it over, not even 4 months. 2 months in the spring, 2 in the fall before it's either too cold or too hot.
Cold or too hot. The thing is, Guitar Pit,
you need Marshalls because they were made in England to survive the weather.
Yeah. I generally will leave my tube amp in the car overnight in the summer because I usually bring it home and it's literally get up in the morning, make my morning coffee, and while the coffee's brewing, drag my ass out to the car and bring in the rest of my gear.
Yeah.
Sean Zimmerman's got a good point. He says all the red knobs are Fender Rivera modern models. They're the 80s ones that he modded, and they have a high gain stage in. Killer amps. If you can pick them up, man, they're insane.
Let's see here. Adam says, new debate, are hand-wired amps worth the extra money? I did watch a Vox review on that Shane did on In the Blues, and I didn't hear a better difference of the hand-wired amp. That being said, The best amp I probably ever gigged through was Rich's hand-wired Marshall clone. It was a 50-watt plexi, hand-wired by a guy in town here. And I remember I've joked about it a few times. Like, we'd be playing, and you every 3 or 4 songs, you think to yourself, my God, my tone is on point tonight. Like, I am sounding awesome. Then you turn around and you see that hand-wired amp behind you. You're like, it ain't you, dum-dum. It's the amp. Welcome back, Terry.
Well, one thing with the hand-wired amps is they're all going to be different.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to sound different. They're not going to be 100% equal. And so you get your magic amps. And, you know, Friedman doesn't make all his high-end hand-wired amps for no particular reason, not the circuit board ones. They're definitely, they have an edge for sure, man.
Yeah.
In the drive, I'm sure in the driving stages of everything.
I think Andertons did a series of videos with Blackheart, or not Blackheart, Blackstar. And that was one of the things that actually was brought up as one of the topics was, is there a big substantial difference between a hand-wired amp and a kind of PCB boarded kind of computer assembled one? And I didn't actually watch the video, but you know, the information is out there.
Well, when they make a hand-wired amp, they obviously each circuit's identical, and Friedman did a big thing on the circuit boards, and when they dialed them in for the tones, like on the runts and things like that, they had to tune it to make it that tone. And that's where the difference is, where it's not that circuit makes that tone. They had to make adjustments to make that tone. That's a big difference. I'd always, you know, hand-wired, man.
Yeah.
Tough with the old vintage ones, though, because then you're going to be up against problems.
You're going to get, as far as that, you're going to get more consistency from a PCB board, from a printed circuit board, than you are from a hand-wired amp, just because it's machine-made and they're all going to be the same.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why hand-wired, there's going to be differences in every amp.
Well, I'm agreeing with you. And the thing is, you know, like looking at it, like I got an electrical background. I mean, if you've got the same conductor size from point A to point B, whether it's traveling on a printed circuit board or whether it's traveling on a piece of wire, I mean, it's still getting from point A to point B. So I don't see, and if you're using the same quality components, I don't see what the difference would be, to be honest with you.
Mojo.
What, with hand-wired?
You're right. Like
all resistors are different. They're measured within a.
Well, you have a tolerance. The typical tolerance on a resistor is 5%, right? Unless you get like military grade, which are 1%. So there's always going to be those tolerances. I mean, that regardless of what I'm getting at is if you're using the same parts with the same tolerances, whether it's hand wired or whether it's on a circuit board, if you've got the same size current paths, I don't see a difference. If anything, I see more consistency on a printed circuit board over hand wired because it's going to be all machine made.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
So that's my 10 cents or 2 cents.
I think it's mojo. It's, you know, it's like if you know it's hand wired, you just hear that extra mojo for some reason. You know, nobody can explain.
Like amps with red vinyl sound really good.
Yeah.
Amps with blue vinyl are very cool.
Yeah, I get more mojo out of a tweed covered amp than a black Tolex covered amp.
Now that's fact. That's fact, though, Ben. I'll go with that, buddy.
Like if you got hand wired pickups or machine made pickups, is one going to sound better than the other if they're using the same gauge wire? What I know for sure is if it's machine made, all the pickups are going to be consistent in terms of the wiring.
Yeah.
You get where that's where I'm going, right? That's my point.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but there's still mojo for some reason.
Oh yeah, well mojo is, you know what? If the amp is what is it, tweed, it'll sound better than if it's black Tolex.
Yep.
Snakeskin amps have better gain for metal.
Yes. Yeah. You can't play metal.
Snakeskin amps make you more prone to doing pick slide.
Yeah, okay, so Jimmy T's saying they put parts on a PC board too close together. I had to change a main board. Well, that's just a bad design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Yeah. Yeah, hand wired increases labor costs. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we hand wired this, so we're going to charge you an extra $1,000 because there's a guy sitting there with a piece of wire and a soldering iron. That's all it is. I think it's marketing. That's all it is.
I'll tell you, the Friedman Runt does sound killer, and that's PCB. He put his Friedman tone in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Runt 50 is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's just like a lot of the Jet City amps. They're Soldano designed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're killer amps.
Yeah. If Friedman was a little more affordable, I'd love to get a Friedman.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
They're so pricey, man.
But worth it. I think they are worth it.
Yeah.
I think they're worth
But
it.
the thing for that, the extra money that they charge versus, let's say, a Marshall, is there's just so much more tone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, top of the line, all tube Marshall out of a production line. I mean, how much is that these days? It's still top dollar, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah.
an extra. Well, I don't know. I mean, see, I look at used prices, so I'm always seeing like the BE100s for around $2,500 used. So
Right.
new, they've got to be 3,500, $4,000.
Oh yeah.
And I know the JJ is $5,000. I mean, is that worth it? $5,000? I mean, I'm thinking like 3's worth it. I don't know about 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So if it's 5 there, that means we're looking at 7,500 Canadian.
Yeah. Then
Yeah,
it
you better-
becomes the law of diminishing returns, right?
Yeah. That's a
I'll tell
nice
you,
down
man.
payment on a car.
If I had the money, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I'd buy it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd
That gives,
have
if I had the
JJ.
money, yeah, I wouldn't even think twice about it. Gus, he says, go to a guitar shop and try the Shirley for that Marshall tone. Oh yeah.
That's the one. I'm looking at one right now. It's a dirty shirt. What's it? No, the God, what's the other one?
So
The
Dirty
51.
Shirley, Pink
Yeah.
Taco, Brown Eye.
51. Small box 50.
Yeah, that's
That's killer.
You still can tone boner. He says back in the day you could take your Marshall to Friedman to hot rod it. He still does that.
yeah.
Like if you when you watch Tone Talk, like you'll see there's usually 3 or 4 Marshall heads sitting there, and a couple of times he's named. You know, he'd be like, "Well, that's one of Slash's, and that's one of this guy's," and you know, they still get their Marshall serviced by him, hot rodded, whatever.
Well, he'll still work for the general public. You could walk in there with your amp and he'll mod it for you.
Oh, sure.
If it's a mod, and most, you know, any brand that's modifiable, he'll take on. You know, it'll take forever, but he'll do it for you.
So here's
Yeah.
some Canadian prices coming in. Tone Boner said he paid
Yeah.
$3,000 for his. And Brian Cote says the BE100 Cosmo selling for $4,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Guitar Pit says that's a tough price tag, but you got to remember it's 70 cents on the dollar, Canadian to US, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, that melter, Sinner. I think I saw one demo of one because they're only direct order. It's not like you can go, you know, I can go into a store, grab one to demo or something like that. So, but it's, you know, it's a decent sounding pedal.
Yeah. It's got that 80s sound to it. The demo I saw it had that real 80s metal sound. Yeah.
I'd like to try one. That's for sure. You know, it sounded like a tone I could use.
Is it?
Yeah.
Trying to think. Yeah, there's 2 people that did demos of it that got them, the early ones. The one was Brad, the guitarologist, the amp dude there down in the southern part of the States. He got one. He really didn't play it a whole lot and ended up giving it away. And then I can't remember who the other
It
person
was the other guy that I saw, the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right now. I'm sub to his channel. I can't think of his name right now.
Okay. So
Bluff.
Tone Boner got that amp used. The guy paid $5,600 new for it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Bruce Hack.
That's it.
Yeah. Metal State Joe says you have to wear spandex to get proper tone.
Okay. And you need a tiger stripe guitar.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil. Well, I was thinking, guys, I'm going to probably wrap things up here. We've been going 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Yep.
I think we covered a fair amount. Of course, everyone's jumping in. Fellfish, Great Vanzini.
Yeah, what up?
But we got 2.5 hours of stuff for you guys to watch if you hit rewind. So, do you have any
rewind,
Mr. Guitar Hack?
What do I got? Sorry, I missed your question.
Any parting words?
Parting words. Yeah, everybody, check out tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I got a live stream going with Jason Wade, so that should be a lot of fun. And hope everybody has a great night and a great week. Cheers.
Awesome. JJ, have anything to add, my good man?
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone, rock on. Christmas coming up. Everyone have a wonderful time. Yeah, I'll see you in a month, I guess, in 2019.
Yeah, buddy.
Hopefully get some things out sooner. These songs I've been mixing, listen out for that Humbucker Lover one to come out. And again, big love to him. And thanks for everyone jumping in tonight. You've all rocked, man.
What about you, Joe? You got anything to add?
Merry Christmas, love and peace, and keep on rocking. That's what I got for everyone.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Cool. Terry?
Quick thank you to everyone who supported Movember. Hopefully people got it and gave in regards to that whole thing for men's physical and mental health. And again, hope everyone has a safe and great December. No matter where you are, no matter what you celebrate.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for coming on. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, we have Mike Bradley coming on from the UK. That's going to be a bunch of fun.
Awesome.
Then, of course, we have Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Canucks with Guitars with Richie and myself. 1 week from tonight, we have Nick in the States coming on. Excuse me. And then the day after that, I don't know. So I haven't gotten that far in advance yet. So I want to thank all of you for coming on. I want each and every one of you, in case I don't talk to you guys directly, to have a safe and wonderful holiday. And we'll do this all again at early January and talk even more about NAMM, I'm sure. That's going to be crazy. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I saw a few new names here, so that's awesome. Please
subscribe to each other's channel, man.
Yeah,
subscribe.
Toxic Guitar, he's back up and running. Quick shout out to him. Toxic Guitar, keep your eyes out for him. He's been gone for a while. Same as Cinero. Metal Stage Joe, he's back up. Keep an eye out for me and Adam. Strung Out Podcast will be coming soon once we get our heads together. And
yes,
rock on, everyone, man.
Swive Trainwreck. Yes, this is the last roundtable of 2018. We do this the first Sunday of each month. So, but definitely, yeah, we'll still be doing all the weekly stuff as well. And again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified whenever we put up some content. Give us a thumbs up. Check out the links down below. If you feel like supporting the channel, that's awesome. We have merch, including a new design in time for the holidays out. And some other cool channels to check out. All these guys that are on the panel are listed down below. And as I always say, what do I say? Yes, hold those doors open. Wow. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things. The good things will happen to you. Karma's real. Everyone, peace and love. Be good to each other. Cheers.
Yeah.
Play those guitars, man.
Later.
Take care.